As my phone is still going off, but I think we are good. Let me grab the nice little chat. Looks like Twitch. We are live. Twitch, what is going on? How is everyone doing out there? YouTube, looks like we are live on you as well. How is everyone doing out in the YouTube world? Just getting our chat linked up. There we go. Don, I see you hanging out. What's going on? Garrett already has a question. So we're getting everything kind of set up, but let me answer that quick, Garrett. If your ball is forcing you deeper than you want to play, is the answer to add surface so it has less energy at the break point or less surface? Less surface. So if your ball is forcing you too deep and you say, well, if your ball is forcing you too deep because it's too angular, then yes, bringing the surface to be more dull is going to be the play to smooth it out. If it is forcing you left because it is just too strong and early, then yes, adding polish is going to be the play. But with that, what's going on, Gustavo? I'm going to hit go live on TikTok quick. Let's get this going. Bowling Arsenal Q&A. We got Michael, we got Aces, we got a lot of people hanging out. What's going on to everybody? All right. I think we are now live on TikTok as well. So we are live on everything. I was going to make a TikTok before this, and I was going to post that, and then I got sidetracked doing other things. Well, that's going to go up after. But what is going on, guys? How is everyone doing on this fine Wednesday night? We are live. We are vibing. We are ready for a lot of Q&A. We've got new bowling balls. We've got PBA events. We have, yes, as Don said, we have a podcast. Why is my phone doing that? Stop it, phone. We have a podcast that just went live. Our very first podcast. We can talk about that a little bit and the work we did with Maribeth Baker. We have a lot of cool things that we can talk about. Is TikTok not working? TikTok, you good? Please? Weird, no online viewers? Okay, there we go. No, we are on. We're good. We're good to go. All right. Then we are set. So let's see. This is going to be mainly run by you guys. So whatever direction you guys want us to go, we can go. For a little bit of background for anybody who's new here, my name is Zach, running ZVL Bowling, amateur bowler, pro shop worker. Been in bowling for a long time. Try to associate myself with a lot of higher names in bowling to try to get you guys information on bowling balls, on bowling tips, tricks, whatever it may be. We really specialize on bowling balls. We are bowling ball nerds at the end of the day. I can give you a lecture about any ball that's come out in the last like 3 to 5 years. And even before that, we can do a little research and figure out what it did. So that's really our expertise. So we're here to help you guys become better bowlers in general. Something's going wrong with TikTok because nobody, usually it pushes it out. That's a little weird. Is it live on my phone? It should be. All right, but we are going to kick it off with whatever you guys want to do. It says we're live? No. Why does it not say we're live? TikTok, you good? Are we live on ZVL Bowling? We should be. Well, we'll wait a little bit. We'll see if TikTok catches up. But let's catch up with everybody hanging out. James, what's going on? Let's see. Bradley, the Hypnotize Hybrid. Yeah, that Hypnotize is being released very, very soon. Next week, actually, already. And it's interesting. I don't know how usable it's going to be, in all honesty. I'm a little worried about how usable that ball is going to be. It's a mesmerized core, but then it has that HK22C cover stock, so it's an insanely strong hybrid ball. Probably one of the strongest hybrid balls on the market. So it's gonna be interesting. My hopes are very iffy. I've seen a few reviews, and the only people that really reviewed it so far are staffers, so it's not the best view in the world on it, but I'm very curious to see how that ball really rolls. I haven't seen it at all in PBA events the last week and a half since it's been released. I thought I would have seen it today. They're bowling on 45 feet and it's playing like it's 52 feet. I don't know why it's playing like that, but its scores are weird and all insanely high rev rates are leading it right now. But I haven't seen it much, which is interesting. But I did see somebody, where is that? Michael mentions the new Vaporize, or not new Vaporize, but the Vaporize. That thing is incredible. I'm a big fan of that Vaporize right now. It's smoother than I thought, and I got absolutely smacked around at a tournament this weekend, but I tried it and it looked good at times. User error didn't really help, but the ball does look pretty good. That one-handed lefty bowler. I kind of wanted to buy a Zen 25, currently rocking the Effect Tour and Supra GT. Is that the play? Yeah, it's going to be stronger than the GT by a bunch, but it's going to be weaker than that Effect Tour. So I think it's going to fit a really good middle ground in your bag. But you do say you're a one-handed lefty bowler in your name, so that makes things a little bit iffier because as a lefty, you don't need the sharpest stuff in the world. So if you drill your Zen a little bit smoother, you're good to go. Then you are set. Hey, T-Bone, what's going on over on the TikTok side? Feeling the need for retail therapy. What's weak sharp? You have a Zen Gold Label, a Black Widow 3.0, and a Power Torque. So I just drilled the track Blue Fire, the Tundra Blue Fire, and that thing rolled pretty good. So that's a decent weak sharp option. It's also really cheap. Otherwise, an Ocean Vibe is in there. What else have I liked? IQ Tour Ruby is really good. EJ just made the Supra GT look really good. Now that thing has a US Open title, so you have a couple of good options in that slot. It's just going to be the lowest end symmetrical stuff. That's Pearl. Hustle X-Ray, another really good option. So let's keep going. Don, do you still have chamois? Yes, we do. We have so many chamois. I actually don't know the exact number, but these are the chamois that we have over on the DH Lab website. If you check the description of YouTube, otherwise all of our links on our profiles, you'll be able to find a link to be able to buy these chamois. Now, there can't be that many left. I haven't gotten an update with how many there are. I don't have the view for that, but if you go check out dhlab3d.com, you can see how many, you can go buy a couple chamois. They're honestly probably the cheapest chamois on the market. I did a little bit more research the last couple days to see like, is anyone undercutting us on price? And there really isn't. Everyone is $25 to $35. So this is both the cheapest chamois you can get and in a complete bias sense, the best looking chamois you can get. Let's see. James, what PBA pros have you met? Oh, good question. Who's on tour right now? Nick Pates from my home state. So yeah, know him. Hoope, I just saw a little bit today. He's still touring. Who else have I? Buttroff, Anderson, Andrew. Probably a few more. Barnes once. He also follows me on TikTok. Shout out Chris Barnes if you're watching, which I'm assuming you're bowling right now. I also don't know if he uses TikTok in all honesty. He followed me one day and it is the legit account, but I don't think he uses it. So a handful, not an insane amount, but a handful. Let's see, SDS. If I have a Rotogrip XL, Rotogrip Hustle USA, and an Ebonite Fireball, what would be a good option to add to the arsenal? So you have an XL, a USA, and a Fireball. I think you have this middle area of your bag that you don't really have much in right now. So I'm almost finally over my sickness. So if I cough or sneeze a little bit, apologies. But you're gonna have a spot of like phase twos, rock stars, actually, Summit Ascent, Venom Shocks. What else is there? GB5s, Zen 25s, like stronger symmetrical balls can fit in that slot really, really well. And Gustavo, I just got a Motive Evoke and an Ion Pro. What are your thoughts on these balls for a two-hander? I really like the options. I think next is going to be a Pearl ball for you, and you're going to like that Ion Pro a little bit better because it's weaker, but I really like it. Nice. All right, quick reminder that we are over on, we're on TikTok right now, we're on Twitch, and we are on YouTube. So I'll be reading chats from all three of those. You might not be able to see them all on your own platform. So if I'm reading somebody else's name that you don't see, apologies, it's on a different platform. But I will be jumping across all of the chats and be handling every single one of them. So do not worry if I miss your comment, I will hit it. And if I don't, just make sure to post it again and I will get it the second time. We're going to hit Wolfie. If I'm having a physics blackout drilled up, would an Equinox be different enough to also be viable? Yes. I would recommend to drill the Equinox a little bit weaker though, but they can be different enough. They can be a good 1-2 combo in all honesty. And then we have Daytona 300. Is the alignment of the Z-axis with the pin and CG on an ASIM mean anything? That is scientific. Wow. Is the alignment of the Z-axis with the pin and CG on an ASIM mean anything? Is the alignment on the Z-axis with the pin and the CG? Where is the Z-axis on that? I've got X, Y, Z. No, I think is the answer. I'm not positive though. I think it's no with a question mark. King, does the 15, 16 pound core for the Widow 2 hybrid have more hook potential? I believe the 15 does. The 16's a little bit weaker, actually. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Let's see. Zoe, I'm getting the new Equinox. So excited. Nice. There's been a lot of honor scores already with that Equinox. It is meant for league. It is a league bowling ball. Really what that means is it's really good for cliffed conditions. So that's really where you're going to see the ball excel. So I'm glad you're getting it. That's awesome. Brian, my favorite ball is the Vibo. What's a good comparison that's out now? Ugh. There aren't many balls like it. I think the Brunswick Vaporize is as close as you're going to get to a Vibo. From the Storm lineup, man, that's a tough one. Probably a shiny Physics Blackout, maybe, is going to be where the Vibo fits. The Vibo was such a unicorn in the Storm lineup. It was so different than anything else that they had. Let's see. I did see a question. What is the pattern this week? And if I remember right, we're on the PBA Missouri Classic, technically the Pete Weber Missouri Classic. It's 45 feet, but I haven't seen the actual pattern. Where is the actual pattern? It is the Pete Weber 2025 Weber pattern. All right, we're gonna have to just Google that one because why would it show up on the website? Oil pattern. Okay, where is it? Why would it be easy to find? Yeah, PBA, that sounds way too easy to actually be able to see the pattern. Crazy. Is it even on here? The Dick Weber pattern is. There's no Pete Weber. What? Really? Where is it? Why is it not on here? Hello? Help. Help. It's not here. More info. Yeah, I'm on the more info. I'm not seeing anything. I see a schedule. I see the tournament notes, which doesn't have, it has the name of the pattern and that's it. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't show the pattern. I was going to, I was planning on it, but unfortunately I cannot. All right, let's keep going. Carlin, what are thoughts on the Vibo? The Vibo is one of the best pearl balls that Storm has made in a very long time. Now, Storm has a lot of really good ones that have been coming out. Road Warriors, Zen 25, Origin. The Vibo was just really clean but really smooth, which was a cool combination in general. So it is a very, very good ball. Let's see. Revs on the left is here. Welcome, Revs. What's going on? Did you buy any new bowling balls this week? Why is the answer yes? I'm guessing it is. Switch Hitter Bowling, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. JR, Motive Lethal Venom, a phase 2 replacement. Yes, it can be. With a little bit of an asterisk, the phase 2 is going to be sharper. So the Lethal Venom is going to be very smooth. Imagine like hooking at the same point as a phase 2, but with the same ball or down lane reaction as an idle to a certain degree. So it's just a smoother phase 2 in my opinion. Ace, I'm a two-handed high school bowler. I want to see if this arsenal would be a good two-handed. You have a Crimson Jackal, and I want to get a Venom Shock, Evoke, and a Hyper. Yes, that is a fantastic lineup. That's a really good 4-ball combo, in my opinion. One of the better ones you can have for Motive. Revs, practice with an old bag from my junior years. What do you think about the Columbia 300 Reaction Arc? I don't know what that ball is, my dude. I'm looking it up. Columbia 300 Reaction Arc. Features arc blocks. Oh, that is an oldie. 254 RG, 045 differential. Makes it a little bit on the weaker end. Comes in at 1200 grit. That shows how old this ball is. You're not going to find a ball out of box at 1200 grit exactly. That's awesome. That's an oldie. That is an oldie. Jerome, what's your opinion on the Harsh Pearl? The Harsh Pearl is overall a pretty decent piece for a lot of people. It's very strong and very smooth. So if you're rev dominant, don't get it. If you're balanced and you bowl on a good amount of oil or on a pretty heavy house shot, I think it'll look really good. If you bowl on sport shots, it can be a pretty decent piece as the strongest pearl ball in your bag. Otherwise, there are better pearls on the market besides it. If you want something weaker, you have the Attention Star right there. You have the Equinox right there. You have a lot of other options. And Bowls in Crocs, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Reminder, make sure to follow on all the platforms. Helps me out a ton. Then I can keep getting these lives out and keep getting more cool videos out. Like our podcast with Maribeth Baker that went out on Tuesday on our YouTube. It's an hour-and-a-half podcast. Super fun conversation we had. We covered college bowling. We covered youth bowling, junior gold, SYCs, how she got signed by Storm, how you can get signed by ball companies. We cover tournament bowling, we cover bowling balls, we cover social media. We hit a lot. We don't shut up very much. Conrad, thank you for the crystal rose on TikTok too. Appreciate it. Let's see. Don, what you drinking tonight? Tonight, so a little bit of a story time on this one. We are drinking Monster Juice Pipeline Punch. There we go. We got to show our product placement. And mainly because I went to the gas station because there's a ton of new energy drinks that just got dropped. Monster has 2 new flavors that came out. It was a Blue Hawaiian Punch and a Viking Berry. And then Reign had a White Haze come out. And I wanted to find them. And the Monster website said, hey, you have them at these 2 gas stations in your town. And I went to them and they didn't have them. So I felt bad walking into the gas station and not buying anything. So I bought one of these. So that's what I'm drinking. Justin, lefty, miswrite a lot. Line up on 30, aim at 15. You have an Ion Pro, a Vivo, an S2, and a Summit Peak. Haven't thrown the Peak in a while. That makes sense. So you probably like smoother equipment, especially if you're missing right. You're going to want stuff that isn't too sharp and snappy down lane. So I think that's overall pretty decent idea with it all. So I like it, Justin. Gustavo, I'm getting paid on Friday. Might buy 2 if I'm able to. Not bad, not bad. Might as well. Don, Missouri Classic. Yep, the PDW Missouri Classic. Ace. And then also, should I replace one of my Venoms with a new Lethal? I don't think so, Ace. With what you mentioned, I like Venom Shock Hyper Venom a little better than Lethal Venom. I think the Lethal Venom's a little too close to that Evoke that you want to get for now. Not Mr. Tibbs, what's going on? I checked my PAP and it's quite a bit different than when I checked it about a year ago. How often would you recommend getting it checked? I recommend every 6 months. I recommend start and then near the end of league season are my 2 best recommendations. The more, the better. Once you do it a few times, you can kind of see with your ball when it's different versus when it's not. So I always recommend a couple times a year, make sure to check that out. Switch hitter, the Rio Punches Fire. I really like that Rio Punch too. I like a lot of the Monster Juices. Most of them are really good in my opinion. The Mango Loco I'm not a big fan of, but I'm not a mango guy at the end of the day. But yeah, all the juices are awesome. They have a lot of sugar though. Like this thing's 46 grams. So it's a little more than I like to have because my teeth feel weird after, but it's still fantastic. All right, let me catch up with this chat. Zoe asks, if I'm using a GB4 right now and the Prism, is it a good move to the Blue Vibe or GB4 and the Equinox? Or no, oh, sorry, the Blue Vibe and the Equinox. If you're using GB4 and a Prism. So the Equinox is going to be a sharper version of the Prism. The Blue Vibe is going to be the weakest ball out of all of those. So I think it can be a good catch for you because then you have a little more like roundness to your arsenal. Let's see. Bowling Crocs, what'd you have? You had a DNA, a Level, a Coil, a Fate, a Lightning Blackout, and an Ion Pro. What do you think? DNA, you have a Coil, you have a Lightning, you have an Ion. I really like it, actually. That's pretty rounded. A few more pearls or shiny balls than solids, but that's A-okay. For League, that's a really good set. Markel or Mark, either one. Is having the Level in phase 2 good for an Arsenal? They are not too similar. Don't worry about that. They're going to be very different. That Level is going to be much, much weaker than the phase 2. And you also have a Mesmerize, an S2, an Effect, a phase 2, and a Road Warrior. If I get the Level, Zen 25, or Urethane. I don't think you need a Zen 25 right now with what you have. I think a Urethane would be best. Brian, I'm moving to Korea at the end of April. I've heard their lanes are very oily. They are. Yeah, South Korea is notoriously has a ton of oil on their lanes. So you're going to find a lot of cool bowling balls over there, and bowling is massive in that country, which is great. So you're probably going to see a lot more Black Widows out there and asymmetrical balls. So asymmetricals will be the right play. Let's see. Jabbar, not Jabber. Jabber was, I think I was one of my friend's usernames back in like high school. My memory is not good enough to remember that. I have a Radical Outer Limits Hybrid, Motive Pink Venom. What do you think would be a good third ball? You don't have huge hook, you stand further right. Well, in that case, I would go with like a solid symmetrical ball, like a Game Breaker 5 or a Phase 2, or even the new Rockstar could be really good. Brooke, hey Brooke, what's going on? I mentioned you, Brooke, in a which video was it? Yeah, what was it? Oh, what ball was it? Oh, for the Columbia, for the new Piranha, the Piranha Pearl. I mentioned you in on the YouTube and the TikTok video, so make sure to check that out. One of the bowlers in my junior league was wearing Maribeth Sparkle jersey. Hey, that's awesome. There are also potentially some new Maribeth Baker jerseys coming out on EFX soon, and I was able to check out a few of them, and they look really, really good. I'm super excited for them. I had no part in making them. I just gave the yes or no on them. All right, let's see. Gavin Newsom. I have an Attention Star and Envy Tour, but I'm looking for a weaker ball for the dry and the burn, or dry or burn. I mainly bowl league, but I also bowl a couple tournaments. Do you think an IQ Solid or Ruby is better to add? You have an Attention Star and Envy, and you're looking for one for the dry or the burn. So if you like playing further right, go with the Solid. If you like getting a little deeper on the lane, go with the Ruby. But both are going to be good options. N Handley. I have a Harsh Solid and a Zen 25. What's a good option in the middle? You could go Phase 2. You could go Rockstar. You could go Origin. You could go Equinox could be really good too. Any of those three, I think, will be right in the middle. Kelvin, I polished my Ion Max Shiny, so logically it became my strong sharp option. Yes, absolutely. Am I right to get another strong smooth ball? Yeah, absolutely. As long as you keep it a little more dull, you're good. And Nate over on Twitch, what's going on, Nate? Make sure to check out our Twitch page. I have a Raw Hammer Solid and a Power Torque. Which would better fit my arsenal? Mesmerize, Night Prowler, Ocean Vibe, and Black Hammer. Which would fit in my arsenal of the Mesmerize, Night Prowler? I think the Power Torque fits better overall. Luke Cohen, are you on staff? I am not. No, I am not affiliated with any bowling ball company, any jersey company, any bag company, any shoe company. I'm not associated with any bowling companies in general. I'm associated with my pro shop that I work at, Champions Pro Shop in Owatonna and Mankato, Minnesota. Come check us out. And then I am associated with DH Labs just for the awesome chamois that they've made, and then also for they also sent me this awesome ball spinner. So it has it just has ball bearings on the top and then has DH Lab on the side. I think it's 3D printed, looks super cool. Highly recommend if you grab a ZVL chamois, go grab one of these too. I'll be making a video on it at some point. But no, I am not affiliated with any bowling ball company, so everything I say is fully as unbiased as it can possibly get. Arguably one of the more unbiased sources of bowling stuff on the internet. Even the ones who are not on staff generally have a little bit of bias on them, as we all do. So I still have some, but one of the least unbiased sources, hopefully. And please correct me if I'm wrong on that also, chat. Please call me on my BS if I say anything dumb. Norman Eagle, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Thank you, thank you. All right, Ray just picked up Troublemaker Solid. Tried it out of box, super strong, upped it to 3K, and it's still strong. Oh, that's interesting. That ball, generally, a lot of people have said is a little bit weaker. Should I try Compound or swap it for something else? I wouldn't swap it. You brought it to 3K. I'd try Polish. Try Polish next, and that might help a little bit. Jonathan, trying to get a new ball. I have a Black Venom. I'm between the Ion Max and the Hammer Effect. I only bowl for fun, and I bowl right after the people play League, so I don't know which. Kind of like the Ion Max more. Trying to get a, let's see, trying to get a new ball. You have a Black Venom. I'm between the Max and the Effect. I would go Effect if you're on a lot of burnt lanes. I think will be a little bit better. Jangles, great motive video. Hey, thank you. Yeah, so mentioning the motive video, first of all, on our YouTube page, we have a video where we go through all of Motive's bowling balls that are in production right now, and we rank them on our 6-ball arsenal scale of strong smooth, strong sharp, medium smooth, medium sharp, and so on. So we mark them into whatever category they fit in, and then I actually rate them on how strong they are in that category. So we're going to be doing that with every single ball company. We're going to be combining all of Storm into one and then all of the Brunswick brands into one. Those are going to be really big videos. Motive was just our start. It was easiest, and they have the smallest lineup. I want to see what the reception was on it, but we will be making the Storm and Brunswick ones very, very soon. They take a little bit more to make because there's so many bowling balls, and we're covering literally all of them. And there's probably 80 in production right now, 70 maybe. So yes, Storm and Brunswick videos are on the way, which I'm super excited about. Hopefully it helped. I want to get that into some kind of better format for you guys so you can go back and see it and have something to look at later on. Let's see, Ace. You are welcome. The ad came up as I was responding. No. Let me go back, Ace. And then also, should I replace? Oh, do not replace a Venom. You're good with not replacing a Venom. Sorry about that. Let's see. OH Greens guy, back almost 20 years away. Got excited and grabbed an Origin and AI. Discovered I'm Rev Challenge. And I'm a 6'6". Short season, 3,000 on each. Started with the AI and moved to the Origin. Usually it's the other way. The Origin is a bit stronger, especially if you're a little more speed dominant. So it should be Origin into the AI. I know I need to get solid ASIMs moving forward, potentially. Otherwise, you can keep dulling your Pearl balls, and that should be okay. So that could be a great option, too. Gustavo, I've been using my hyped Super Pearl as my transition ball. Oh, that was an overseas one, right? I think it was. Check MP, what's going on? Zao Pipeline Punch is too good. It is my favorite flavor. I don't even know what it is, in all honesty, like what fruit it's supposed to taste like, but it's just amazing. It's just really, really good. All right, let's go catch up a little bit on TikTok. Let's see. PNW, what is my arsenal? Right now I have Jackal Onyx, Phase 2, or I'm gonna go in the solids are Jackal Onyx, Effect Tour, Phase 2, Scorpion Low Flare, bottom ball, usually like if I need one to track heat at the lowest spot, I usually don't need that ball. On the Pearl side, I have Infinite Physics. What else do I go? Vaporize, Attention Star, Zen 25, Web Pearl, oldie from Hammer, and then I just drilled up the Tundra Blue Fire as my weak ball. And then Purple Hammer for my urethane, and I'm drilling up a Pink Widow right now. So that's my personal arsenal. Luke Cohen, I have a Road Warrior, the Road, XL, and a Phase 5. Would be good 6 ball. You have a lot of really weak balls. I would go with another solid ball, like a Phase 2. Phase 2, Summit Ascent, or a Rockstar. Sarah Capia, my Vibe and Hustle X-Ray aren't scaling to my speed anymore. I have to slow my speed down. Those are really weak bowling balls, so that makes sense. And is A-okay. That is fine. Might need to get some stronger ones, though, or add some surface, so make them more dull. Brooke, I just watched the Piranha video. I don't need another Pearl. I had to mention it because you love your Piranha so much, and there aren't many people that like that Piranha Solid, but you are one of them. So I had to. Forrest, what's your opinion on the Track Cypher? So I like the Track Cypher. It's a very predictable ball and very, very smooth. A little bit on the weaker end, but it's in a unique position. It's not as strong as like a Game Breaker 5, but it's not as weak as like a Hustle. So I think the Cypher is a very unique piece if you like to play straighter, but you need something a step below your stronger symmetrical balls. And I like it at box finish. Polished, it's okay. I noticed it's still very, very smooth when polished, kind of like the Optimum Idol. So might not be the best choice polished. Ace, love me the Ultra Strawberry Dreams. That is my second favorite ultra flavor of Monster. That's their zero sugar flavors. The White Monster is still the GOAT, absolutely goated flavor, but Strawberry Dreams is definitely number 2. Definitely number 2. Will, any suggestions on someone speed dominant? SPI solid sims only. SPI solid sims, Phase 2, 100%. Go Phase 2, that's my favorite, that's the GOAT. If you don't want the Phase 2, try out the Rockstar. The Rockstar looks really good. Chris Vi just used it on the TV show this week, and it looked phenomenal. And he used it all week in qualifying, too. He likes that thing a lot. Brandon Donaldson, you have an Ion Max, a Mutant Cell Pearl, and a Harsh Reality Pearl. I would go Phase 2, and then I'd go like a Zen 25 or a Road Warrior as a Pearl ball to match with it. Hanson and Drina, I'm going to a tournament in a few days, and I don't know how many bowling balls I should bring. 5 games. So I like to bring between 6 and 8. is my favorite amount of bowling balls. If I'm bowling on a bigger tournament or a tougher pattern or dual pattern, I go up to 10 or 11. So between 6 and 8 is always my go-to because I always bring a spare ball and then I have 5 reactive balls, or a spare ball and 7 reactive balls. Let's see. Jesse Lee, you're great. You have to have a team. If not, you're better than great. I like to see you cover ball against ball, similar in all ball manufacturers. I actually don't have a team. It's just me. Just me running the show for everything, for editing, recording, all that jazz. So yeah, just a one-man show here. But ball to ball comparisons in all manufacturers, I kind of like that. That might not be a bad idea. Like once I get all the videos out of the brands and where everything fits, we might see that. We might see that in the future. Thank you, Jesse Lee. Appreciate it. Sugar high, absolutely. Colin Destiny, I haven't been able to come support your lives. Hey, don't worry about it. Thanks, Colin. Thanks for hopping in. Jack Taylor, IQ Tour, High Road, Purple Hammer. Big ball next? Yes, 100%. It looks like you're a little more rev dominant, so you might not need a big ball, but like a phase 2 or a Rockstar would fit pretty well, since you have a lot of storm stuff. Chris from Michigan, I just got my Jackal Onyx and I have league play tomorrow. Awesome. I have thrown the Jackal Onyx in total every single game of League since I've drilled it. I have tried other ones, other balls, but I keep going back to that stupid Jackal Onyx. It is good. It's really good for League. I've shot 730, what did I shoot this last week? 720? I think I shot 730, 720, and 670 so far with a 300 game in there. Just with the Jackal Onyx. I've thrown different balls and like fill shots and things, but it just never looks the same. And that Onyx just keeps looking great, which is cool. Very shocking in all honesty. Very, very shocking. The Legend of Mr. D, which Envy is the GOAT lefty ball? Envy Tour. 100% the Envy Tour is. Let's see. Balrog, to go after a Black Venom, should I go IQ Emerald or Road Warrior? I would go Road Warrior, I think is going to be a little better. And Geek, what's going on? What's up? Yes, ZAK actually. Zach ZAK, the weird way. Easiest way, you know, pronouncing wise. No C's in there. Come on. Farhan, what is the strongest ball of all time? The OG Motive Jackal was actually illegal and was too strong because the differential was too high. So I think technically that wins. I don't know really what else of all time. The Extreme Envy is a lot of ball, and the Max Bias is a lot too, though, that are out right now. Ace, I have an Evoke, a Crimson Jackal, Venom Shock, and a Hyper. Yeah, those look awesome. I love it. James, you found the pattern? Oh, perfect. I could not. It says Weber 2025, but it doesn't say which Weber. So there's 2 of them. There's the Dick Weber and the Pete Weber pattern. So I don't know which is which, in all honesty, which is annoying. FYP, is the phase 2 good for two-handers? Yes, absolutely it is. 100%. Phase 2 is good for anybody that can throw a bowling ball. It is that good. It is that good of a ball. Brooke, how often should I replace a ball? Don't think I need to right now, but I'm just wondering. Oldest ball is a harsh. Yeah, if your oldest ball is a harsh, you don't have to. So it's very hard. It is very hard to explain. My throat got really dry there. That was a lot of talking without drinking. It's very hard to explain when a ball starts going out. It starts just losing its reaction. You can usually see it with your eyes, but the real way to tell is after you throw it, you wipe off the oil with a chamois and it's still slick and slippery. That's usually the point where the ball is gone or close to gone. So actually, I just found out my IQ Ruby is actually at that point. I threw it last night against the Blue Fire. While the Blue Fire was going high flush, my IQ Ruby wouldn't even hit the head pin. It was... I'll show a few videos on TikTok in a couple days once I get them edited a little bit, but the IQ just never hooked. It was crazy. I could not hit the pocket with it. When it did, it was super flat. So really you have to see it on your own, which is tough. It's very, very tough, but it is doable. So I don't know. It's very hard to explain. I wish there was like a set way to know, but it takes a lot of games to get there. Let's see. Freddie, two-handed ball for dry lanes. Hustle M&M is going to be really good. And Jordan, as a high school bowler, I have a Fate and a Pie. What should be my third option? If your Fate is never too strong or never leaves too many 10 pins, I would go with like a phase 2 or a rock star. But if that fade is too much ball, go with like a road warrior or a hustle Eminem. All right, let's keep on trucking. Quick reminder, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't, or a subscription. Helps me out a ton, helps me be able to make these videos and live. So really appreciate every single one of you. We have almost 80 people over on YouTube right now. We've got about 25 on TikTok. We have a handful on Twitch. So thank you all so much for hanging in with us. We are doing Q&A. If I miss your question, make sure to put it again in the comments. Don't be too spammy with it, but make sure to put it again if I miss it. And let's see, I was just about to say something. What was I going to say? I don't remember what it was. I'm going to pretend like it was really cool, though. Just pretend like I said something awesome there. And handily, I have a Harsh Reality Solid and a Zen 25 as a 1-2 combo. I like it. I often find the Harsh is too much for your pattern. What would be a good step down? XL is a good option. Otherwise, Phase 2, Rockstar, or Optimum Idol. Franchise, appreciate the answer from the pre-show. Oh, absolutely. For sure, man. Absolutely. Thanks for jumping in early to be able to ask that. I'm always on a little bit whenever we're early, just trying to set up background things like my my editor and TikTok Live and all that jazz. Bayou, new live stream. Yes. Love the recent motive video. Perfect. We have more coming with different from different companies. And made money. Thank you for the share on TikTok. Let's see. Zackle. The phase 2 should be in everyone's bag. Yes, 100%. Luke, would the Equinox be a good ball because school season is over and now I bowl on house? Yes, it absolutely can be. But you, Luke, mentioned, Luke, you got a little close to, can you start doing live at night? Sorry, Luke, you spammed a little bit there. Let's see. You don't have anything in that realm, so that could be a really good option for you. Oh, I just did something dumb. Oh, we're good. All right. And Oxford, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Nate, you are a high school bowler that's two-handed, 450 to 500 revs, about 17 miles an hour. At my city tournament that I won, I struggled to switch down from the black hammer. What's a good ball to get to fix that? So switching away from urethane is one of the toughest things in bowling. When it goes away, you have to go to something weaker but still dull, and then just move a little bit left. So like symmetrical solids are always a good option. Game Breaker 5, Phase 2s, Lethal Venoms. Lethal Venom is actually a phenomenal option on the short after the urethane look goes away. So symmetrical solids or smaller asymmetrical solids. Let's see. Cody, left-hander, between 15 and 17 and a half speed. Forward roll, you have an infused, a Rubicon urethane polished, Fate, Summit Ascent, Origin, and a mix. Are there any bowling balls that you need to add? You have actually a really good arsenal right now. You might need a bigger, stronger smooth ball like an NV Tour or an Effect Tour might be really good. Those two could be really, really good. Island, what do you think about the level? The level is the weirdest ball made in the last like year. So everyone thought it was going to be more urethane-like than it was, and it isn't. It's more of like a smooth IQ Tour. So you play straighter, it gets a little further down lane, but is really, really smooth on the back end. So it's okay. If you want a ball that could do that, it's a good play. It's a little stronger than urethane, but just doesn't give you that urethane look. So it's good in a lot of situations, but not incredible in others. Hey, Arbles, what's going on? You need to try the 3D offset. It's so good. The Assault, are you talking? Arbles, the new one, or are you talking the OG? The OG is going to be a little hard to get. The new one? Okay. Yeah, the Assault looks really good. It's a strong ball, though. Very strong. If I had to pick a ball, one of the more underappreciated balls from this year so far, I'd say that Assault is on the list. It would be really good for me, too. I need a ball in that slot. That'd be fantastic for me. Ren Trim, general thoughts on the Optimum Idol Pearl. I adore the Optimum Idol Pearl. I think it's really good. It is the second best Pearl ball from Storm right now. Tied for second. I would say that and the Road Warrior are tied, but it is the strongest Pearl ball that's a symmetrical piece. I think it's a really good ball. I also love the colors too. Paired with an Effect Tour and a GB4. Ooh, that's a good 1-2-3 combo. I like that. Franchise. If I was to have a 4-ball arsenal and motive, could I add the Lethal Venom and the Hyper to my Onyx and EJ? Yes, I think you could. I would go with a big shiny ball with that. So you say a 4-ball arsenal. Yeah, I would recommend a stronger shiny ball like a nuclear forge with it too could be great. Ace, you have an Evoke, Crimson Jackal, Venom Shot. Yep, we covered that. Think of a lethal. Yeah, we mentioned that. It'll be a little close to that Evoke. Kyle Stark, what are the better what's better? Phase 2 Venom type benchmark balls. What are all the better Phase 2 Venom type benchmark balls? The best are Phase 2 Venom Shock. GB5 is really good. And then after that, I would go Lethal Venom and then Rockstar. Unfortunately, Brunswick doesn't have much in that benchmark spot. That's that amazing right now. It doesn't have a crazy amount in that zone. Kevin, I recently got the Supernova. I used the Hammer Effect and the Black Widow 3.0 as my high performance pieces. Is the Supernova stronger than either of them? Not the Black Widow, but it is stronger than the Effect. Yes. Let's see. Let's go over here. Corbin's Flock, what's going on? How you doing? Magic Main just got the Ion Max. Can't wait to use it in a league. Hey, good luck. Good luck. Getty, what are we talking about? But Envy Tour is S tier. Oh, 100%. Yes. Envy Tour is one of the best balls made in the last 3 years. Absolutely. Hudson Lattimore, you have sectionals Friday on a pattern like Scorpion, just less volume. Ooh, smooth stuff. Scorpion sucks. I have a fear of the PBA Scorpion pattern, usually the 42-footer specifically. I've gotten smacked around on it. I've even won a title on that, but I've gotten smacked around on that many times. So smooth equipment will be your best friend by far. Jordan, what do you think a 10th grader should be at for average? It's really hard because bowling is a one where your age doesn't matter much, which is kind of funny because like I'm 27 right now. I've been bowling for like 8 years pretty competitively. And there are plenty of guys who are like 20 years old that have been doing it longer than me. Like when I was in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago with Maribeth, she has been bowling competitively much longer than me. And she's 19. So it really depends on how long you've been bowling. It's really not about your age, but it's about your experience level. I think that matters a little bit more. Jason, I'm a lefty throwing around 16 to 18. What's a good ball to work when oil is heavy? Envy Tour. Envy Tour, especially as a lefty. I think every lefty should have an Envy Tour. That is my like hot bowling take is they all need an Envy Tour. I'm not a lefty, so I can't 100% guarantee it'll work, but that is my recommendation. Let's see. Where are we at? Hey, Kieran Hill, what's going on? Luke, what pro shop do you work at and where? So I work at Champions Pro Shop in Minnesota, Owatonna and Mankato, southern part of Minnesota. So we have 2 shops actually. All right, let's keep on going. Farhan, I have a purple Rhino Solid and a Booyah. What should I get next? You have some pretty weak equipment, Farhan, so I would go a little bit stronger, go with a Pearl Ball. It depends what you're looking for. If you want more snap down lane, you could go like I would go with like a Road Warrior or a Hyper Venom. I think will be the 2 best for you. Kevin, would you describe it as strong and smooth? The Nova is strong smooth. Absolutely. Nova is definitely a strong smooth ball. Michael McSmith, Hitter Pearl is on sale for $140 and the Scorpion Strike is $126. Ooh. Ooh, those are really good prices. If you're buying just one, which? Oh, Scorpion Strike. I had it as one of the best balls of the year. So I would go Scorpion. For 126 is bonkers. That scares me too that it's going to be discontinued. God, I hope not. God, I hope not. Hey, OH Green Guy, you are absolutely welcome. Arsenal categorization has been helpful. That's what I'm here for. Help you guys know what your bowling balls do and what new ones would do. White Monster is the GOAT flavor. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I will absolutely die on that hill. Jangles, think about the next Arsenal category to go for. League on the Rev Challenge side. Your 3-ball bag is a max, a blackout, and AI. I think a weaker solid ball might be okay, like a Summit Ascent or a Rockstar, since you have a lot of storm stuff, I think might work pretty well. Otherwise, if you want a strong Pearl, you could go with like an Origin or an Attention Star. Could be good too. Sin G, what layouts are best for speed dominant players? So your best friend are going to be lower pin to PAP distances. Around 4 inches is going to be your best friend. You don't really want to go much longer than that. You want to have that pin distance around that 4-inch mark. That'll give you the most strength. Kyle, a brand-to-brand video would be the nut. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. Chad, I'm looking at a new heavy oil ball for strong smooth. Looking at the Jackal Onyx Max by Zigzag or Outer Limits. Jackal Onyx. It is by far and away better than the other ones you mentioned. Apologies to Radical. All the ones you mentioned just aren't great per se. They die out much quicker, and the Onyx is going to last a lot longer. I would go Onyx. Onyx right now is my number 2 best strong and smooth ball on the market. Close to number 1. It could take number 1 in my opinion. Who is the best bowler from Malaysia? I don't know Malaysian bowlers at all, so I actually can't answer that. I'm sorry. Dean, why does Brunswick not have many medium and sharp options? Because asymmetrical balls sell better. Yeah, 100%. When Brunswick, kind of hard to explain, but when Brunswick's coming out with equipment, they are more sales driven than other companies. And all of these big ASIMs that they come out with, they have a higher return on investment. So they're going to sell a little bit better. I'm probably going to get flamed for that by Brunsnick and Phil in their next live stream. That's all right. But that is the reason they don't really come out with many medium balls that are that great. They usually come out with one and then they stick with it for the year, like the Game Breaker 5. They have the Hazmat Solid. The only medium sharp ball that's really insanely worth it, Scorpion Strike, the No Doubt's all right. I don't know why they just don't come out with much there. It's just because it's a little bit cheaper is my guess, and you don't get as much money back for those. And people like to buy ASIMs. Absolutely. And they do have some awesome ASIMs. They're really good at making asymmetrical balls, especially with HK22. Hanson, my 900 global reality check is hooking too much. Yes, so I would recommend putting some polish on it. Some polish will help a lot. Gilberto, I have an IQ Ruby that I really like for the burn. What do you recommend for an upgrade? SPI preferred. I like the Road Warrior. Otherwise, the Zen 25 are going to be your 2 best options. The Road Warrior is going to be a little weaker than the Zen, though. James, do you like actual polish or higher grit? I am mixed. It depends on what I'm going for. For any shiny solids, I like just surface, just bumping the grit up to like 3,000 or 4,000. For pearls, I like Power Edge a little better unless I want a smoother reaction. So that's where I am on it. I'm a little bit of a mix. Corbin's Flock, the number 1 strong smooth ball is, in my opinion, right now, the Ion Max. The Ion Max, I think, has taken the place as the number 1 strong smooth ball. I think the Onyx is in a very close second. And then after that is the Track Criterion. And don't get any other big, strong ASIMs outside of that. The Black Widow 3.0 is really good yet, but it's a little bit weaker than those other ones. Let's see. Gavin, do you think Shined Up IQ Solid would be better for blending out the wet dry? Some people really like a shiny IQ Solid. Some people really hate it. I did not like mine. I liked mine at about 1500 grit all the time. I would resurface it after like 5 games. It was crazy. Also, Gilberto, thank you for the tiny Diny on TikTok. Appreciate it. So I think it would be okay. The Ruby will be a little bit better on that, though. Let's see. Randy, my new Motive Ball, Raptor Rush, Primal Shock, Hyper Venom are so strong and sharp down lane. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Said you picked the wrong balls. My friend said we laid them out wrong. 4.5-inch pins, 2-inch buffers. Yeah, I mean, they're shinier bowling balls. They're going to be strong. They're going to be sharper down lane. That Primal Shock really shouldn't be. I'd recommend dulling it. 4.5-inch pin is okay. 2-inch buffer is okay. I don't think you picked the wrong balls, per se. But I think that's a really good 1, 2, 3 yet, where you have a strong sharp, a medium smooth, and then a medium sharp. I would recommend taking the surface down to not be as shiny. That might help a little bit. Geek, I figured out my second shift league arsenal. Venom Shock, when it starts reading too early, then Crimson, then Pride Liberty. I like it. I like it. And Lyra, my high road feels a bit weak. What would be a good step up? The Zen 25. Hands down, that is one of the best pearls in the game right now. Colin, question is it worth trying out Power Edge that came out with the AI on my phase 2 or the Journey? Journey, yes. Phase 2, no. Shiny phase 2s aren't the greatest thing in the world. They're okay, but not great. I prefer them dull. A lot of other people don't like putting that polish on it. In Corbin, I'm about to purchase the Ion Max, Primal Rage, Super GT, and the Zed. Ooh, I like it. That's a good combo. That's a really good combo of balls. Our bowls, you don't like the Mesmerize? I do. I really like the Mesmerize. I think that, you're right. That would probably be, that and the Criterion are pretty much tied in my opinion. I don't think one is better than the other. They do slightly different things though. But I still think the Onyx is a little better. Let's see, Randy, who's right? I did hit the rush with 3,000 and it helps a little bit. Okay, good. Good. Charmaine, I'm going to tournament in Gold Coast. Which ball would be best? You have a Blackout, an Absolute Power, Hammer Effect Tour, Zen 25, Purple Hammer, Rhino Pro Ivory, Vibo, and a Reality. I think it depends what they put out. Gold Coast hooks a bit, but if they put out a lot of oil, you're going to need that Reality and the Blackout. If they don't, I think that Effect Tour and the Zen 25 will be the play. Revs, not if you shot you, sir. Whoa. Not sure if you saw my question. Thoughts on the reaction arc is old. That is my review of it. No, it's like it's gonna be a very weak solid ball. Very, very weak solid ball because it's so old. Any suggestions for a ball to replace my wine? Preferably Motive, Max Thrill Pearl. Also, does it make sense to have a Primal Shock and a Black Venom in the same bag? Absolutely. They are very, very different. Considering the Primal Rage Evo to replace the Shock, that's an okay option. It'll be a little sharper, a little shinier, but that could work really well, actually. Reviews with Moose. Got a new subscriber. Hey, thank you, Moose. Appreciate it. The lefties are screwed this week on your only one in the top 30. Really? Was it Maverick? Bailey Maverick was the only one? No, it wasn't Maverick. It was Maverick's a righty, I think. I don't remember, though. He's newer. But wow, that's rough. That is really rough for the lefties. Jangles. Level sounds like this year's Lightning Blackout. Yeah, it's very niche. And it's very expensive. You're kind of right. It kind of fits that zone. It's iffy. It was a good try. I just don't think it's the play. Done. I'm looking for a hybrid. Do you suggest an Arctic Vibe or a Stealth? I like the Stealth better, but if you want a weaker ball, go with the Arctic. Absolutely. All right, let's catch up out of here. 3 balls built around the high road. High road? Rockstar. Attention Star. Boom. I think those work really well together. If you want the high road to be the weakest ball in your bag. If you want something weaker, you have to go with a Hustle M&M. Let's see. Corbin, I have a big tournament coming up. 30 games of qualifying? They do 9 games before oiling? Oh my God, that's brutal. I'm sorry for that. Oh, that's painful. Oh, that's a lot of games. That makes sense why you have so many then. Luke, I'm going to be doing gold at my house. I have a pitch purple and pitch black. What will you use? USB-C gold? Is that a pattern? Or junior gold are you talking about? Gold, let's check. Oil pattern? No, it's just junior gold. Pitch black, absolutely. Pitch purple was okay, but not great. Yo, Fo, hey, what's going on, man? I tend to score really high on fried house shots versus oily. Are oiled lanes generally harder? It kind of depends on your ball reaction. You probably really are a little more rev dominant. So, or sorry, you're probably a little more speed dominant. So the extra hook helps a lot. So it might be just because there's too much oil that you're not scoring as well. Seen you at the sweeper in Buffalo. Hey, thanks Hayden for seeing me. Yeah, it didn't go well for me, but I was there. I was in the building. I hope you didn't see the 138 I shot in game 2. Oh, ball reaction was not pretty. Neither was Zach's physical game. I watched some videos afterwards and I was like, yeesh, I don't want to post any of these. It was bad. It was really bad. Let's see. It's called the Iron Man. Yeah, that's an Iron Man, Corbin. That is definitely an Iron Man tournament. Wow. That's so many. 30 games is wild. Dan, is the Rockstar better than having both the original Idol and the Axiom Solid? The Rockstar is kind of in between those two. It's going to fit in between the Idol and the old Axiom Solid. It's smoother than the Axiom, but sharper than the Idol. It is kind of the baby of them both, basically. It is kind of fitting in between. Reviews with Moose. I have a ton of undrilled Storm, Global, and Roto. Daughter never drilled them and recently left Storm and signed with Brunswick for the coming tour season. Oh, well, first of all, congrats to her. That is super cool, Moose. But, oh no, you have all of these undrilled bowling balls. Shoot, whatever shall you do? I have all of these cool bowling balls to drill. Oh, man. That's really, congrats to her, though. That's awesome getting signed with Brunswick, especially for tour season. That's really cool. Big B, does each brand specialize in a particular ball motion? They used to. If you ask me that question about a year ago, 2 years ago, yes. Now it's kind of changed. Brunswick is trying to be the sharpest ball reaction on the market. Storm is trying to be versatile, and Motive is just being Motive. So not exactly. Motive is a little tumblier. So if you're a little more around the ball, you're going to like Motive better. The other two are kind of close. They kind of fight in different realms. Let's see. You broke out. What did you say? Pitch black, Luke. Zyme, training today. No training today. Let's see. Jesse, I'm curious. I'm seeing lane shine in my 3.0. What do I need to do to get it back to a dull finish? You're going to need a sanding pad. So either you can buy those on Amazon, Aberlon pads or CTD True Cut pads, or you can go to your pro shop to dull it back up. Corbin, I got second place in the tournament my first year doing it. How were your fingers afterwards? They must have been fried. All right. Rick, any recommendations to complete this arsenal? We have Archetype Solid, Hammer Effect, Ion Pro, Motive Red and Blue Solid, Max Thrill, bowling on 42 feet, 22 mils. Oh, and you're pretty much balanced. You're going to probably want one more shiny ball, like a Hyper Venom or a Road Warrior or a Max Thrill Pearl could be really good. Scorpion Strike could be really good. Anything like that. Gavin, I've never owned a Phase 2, but how close is a Phase 2 to the NV Tour? It's a little bit weaker, actually. It's a little bit weaker in general. The Phase 2 will be. I saw Geek. Think my pro shop uses 5 over for my PAP instead of the correct 6 over. Will that make it weaker? 6 over is a lot, though. So I would check out if it's 6 over, because that would mean your ball roll is basically like between your fingers and thumb to a certain degree. But it would make the ball, no, it'll make it, it'll make it weaker. It'll make it weaker. You're right. The Legend of Mr. D, NV Tour for a lefty goat, the black ball or the silver pearl? The black one, the solid, definitely the solid. And Bayou, thoughts on the Strike versus the Piranha? The Piranha is going to be sharper. The Piranha is definitely going to be a sharper ball down lane than the Strike. The Strike is pretty smooth yet, which is why it's so good. The Luke, Road Warriors, and S-tier ball? Yes, it is. Jesse, I have a ball spinner and sanding pads. Is it better to do wet sand or dry? Wet, absolutely. Especially if you're using CTD pads, go wet sand. Make sure to be pretty soft with it. Don't push down too hard. It's kind of hard to tell like how hard you should push, but just a little bit. Hey, Maribeth is here. What's going on? And Brockistan. Hey, mate. What's going on? Are you the Shroud of Bowling? Yes. Thank you for the Gustavo. I have way too many bowling balls, but no, you don't. Don't lie to yourself. You don't have too many. But I'm trying to make a Motive arsenal with all of them. You have an Evoke, Nuclear Forge, Blue Coral Venom, EJ, and a Venom Shock. Two-handed righty, super high rev rate. Let's see. I would recommend another Pearl ball in there, like a Hyper Venom or a Max Thrill Pearl might make it really good. I look super dapper today. Oh, thank you. I really tried. For this stream to look dapper. That was my goal looking in the mirror this afternoon, was how do I look more dapper? That is 100% what I was going for. Ace, thanks for the advice. Absolutely. No, for sure. I got you. Unthinkable. I'm getting back into bowling. You have a Scout Reactive and you're looking to upgrade. You've been eyeing a Hazmat. I'm sucker for the green, blue, black. Go with the Hazmat. It'll be much stronger, much stronger, but I think it could be good. James, I want a Jackal Onyx. Hopefully I'll get it before my summer pattern league. Yeah, I recommend it. It is a little pricey. That's the biggest issue with it. And Motive stuff never gets cheaper. It is really good though, but it is pricey. Do I like the Rockstar better than the Idol? I can't say yes because it hasn't really come out yet. So no, not quite. Give it some time and then we'll come back and see. I don't think it'll be better than the Idol for a while, though. The Idol is good. Idol is very good. Luke, the only problem is with the Road Warrior, after 100 games, it's dead. Really? Huh. I haven't heard that yet. I've heard the Road Warrior actually holds games pretty well, but it might just need a resurface. Jesse, I'm wanting to do it so I don't have to pay. I appreciate you. Absolutely. You're welcome. For sure. Tim Hagen, I'm a two-hander getting my first urethane. Do you recommend the number 5 Storm 2LS layout? I'm going to have to look up what the number 5 2LS layout is. Number 5 is 4x4x5. I would not. No, actually, I would. Yes, you're right. You're right. My bad. My bad, Tim. Yes, go with that. Earth God, Storm Equinox or the Mania? The Equinox is much smoother. That Mania is absurdly sharp down lane. That thing goes sideways when it sees the end of a pattern. So it depends what you need. If you want much sharper, go with the Mania. If you want rounder and smoother, go with the Equinox. And Isaiah, opinion on the Equinox? The Equinox is exactly what it's advertised as, which is awesome. It is a league ball. It's really good for a cliffed oil pattern, and it's going to be really good for the speed dominant or balanced bowlers. Rev dominant, I think you can skip it. Go with an attention star. Everybody else, I think the Equinox will be pretty good. There have been a lot of scores with it so far. A lot of scores with it so far, which is really cool to see. Curb, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Geek, what all lanes did you hit up in Pittsburgh? So we just stayed at Mount Lebanon Lanes in Mount Lebanon, southwest Pittsburgh. Amazing place. Awesome place. Go check out Mount Lebanon on your weekends. They are the coolest people there. Fantastic bowling center. Playful Movement, happy Wednesday. Thanks, same to you. Can you talk a bit about transition? Everyone talks about moving left. With a higher rev rate, I start left, get to the pocket, then creep right due to carry down. So that is an option. Transition is different wherever you are, whenever you are, on whatever you're bowling on. So usually, the usual move is you start with a spot, smoother bowling ball, you go a little bit, it starts hooking too early, you move a little bit left, and then it starts hitting really flat, so you have to switch to a pearl ball. You switch to the pearl ball, like the asymmetrical pearl or the strong symmetrical pearl. That either becomes too sharp or too over-under, where you're leaving 4 pins and 10 pins if you're a righty. And then you have to move a little bit deeper, and then you go to weaker equipment. And that's usually the move. There are times, though, if there's carry down that you're throwing, and then with the same ball or with a weaker ball, you have to move right, actually, as a righty. So it is possible. It's just always all over the place. It really depends. Also, Jesse, thank you for the follow on TikTok. James, what bowling video game do you like to play on your toy phone? Have you tried Bowling Unleashed? Bowling Unleashed. I played Belmo's game for a while. That was really fun, actually. I have never heard of Bowling Unleashed. It's on Android. Looks kind of cool. It has good ratings. I've never heard of it, though. At all. Huh. I don't stick with apps very much, though. Geek, North Hills is better than South Hills, except for bowling. That's fair. I don't know much about the city, in all honesty, at all. Let's see. Rothink, I already have the AI, but I'm hearing good things about the 25. If you have the AI, don't get the Zen 25. They're very, very similar. Absurdly similar bowling balls. Tactless, what's your opinion on signature line bowling balls like Motive and Storm have? Do you think it's just a name, or do they actually try to make the balls good? No, they actually do try. They are some of the greatest people, like, on all the companies. The guys who make the bowling balls are some of the greatest bowling minds on the planet. They are arguably the best on the planet. So the signature lines usually are just represented with another person where they get a lot of the decisions. So like Belmo's signature lines, he is the one making some of the decisions. He's the one testing, saying yes or no on some of the things. EJ's lines, he's the one in there deciding, like, what if we put these things together sometimes? Or they give him some options and he gets to pick out of them. That's really what that means. Black Star Piece, I just got my Motive Primal Rage, and dear God, does that thing hook. At my house, I can't use it anywhere before 5th arrow. Whoa, that is a lot of ball. Rip Van Revs. Maverick is a righty two-hander. That's what it is. Okay, got it. Revs on the left. Ever seen a ball with a 0.1-inch pin? Yes, and I don't recommend it. The ball doesn't hook. It shouldn't hook much. It should be very, very smooth. I did see R Bowls. BJ just shot a 300 on tour. Okay, all right. That jumps him up in the standings a little. I'd love to see some BJ Moore action. Let's see. Corbin, what did you say? Come to South Carolina sometime and bowl the Ironman. Hey, if I could, once the finances are there from socials, I am into travel. Like this Pittsburgh trip was really the first of many. I want to try to travel more like for the True Amateurs tournament or PBA events. PBA, send me some stuff to get me on the telecast or to kind of help out with some PBA events, get some footage. I mean, I've been told I have the voice for radio and not the face for it. So works out well. We can actually make your programs better. All right. Pet peeve. I've gone into this like every week. PBA Tour needs to do a better job at promoting the bowling balls that are being shown on tour. Instead of having a stupid hook rating that doesn't say anything, talk about the bowling balls. The problem is nobody knows about the bowling balls that's talking about them. So you need to go into a little bit what they actually do. Like we saw Tim Foy throwing the stealth mode in the GB5. You should have saw, all right, Tim's throwing the new stealth mode from track. This is a much smoother, strong, symmetrical bowling ball. So you're going to see it be very, very slow down lane or very, very just smooth in general versus the GB5 that's shiny. It's going to be more angular. Like just talk about that. PBA, hit me up. All right, rant over. Steph, I have a focus short pin and I have a TNT benchmark longer pin. Want to replace my TNT Rockstar. Rockstar is going to be the new TNT replacement. Absolutely. Let's see. Kyle Stark, best ball down from Road Warrior. Hustle or Thrill? Hustle. Thrill might be a little too close. I would go Hustle. Rick Wright, any recommendations to complete this arsenal? I think we covered that one. I think I mentioned a shiny ball. Yeah, definitely a shinier ball is going to be the play, like a Max Throw Pearl or a Hustle M&M. Out of names. Hey, what's going on? Any chance of getting a lefty-specific arsenal? Yes. I feel like I had one recorded at one point, and it did, and I think it corrupted or something. I had it, and then I didn't. So, yes, that is going to be happening. The Gutter Guy. How can I differentiate between a ball not hooking versus rolling out? One of the hardest questions in bowling. The easiest way, in my opinion, is if you don't know what your ball's doing, ball down. And then if that ball doesn't hook, then your ball was just not strong enough. But if that weaker ball is hooking a bunch and out hooking the ball you think is rolling out, or then you know it's definitely rolling out. Tremaine, I'm a lefty tweener, phase 2 Zen Master, GB4 hybrid, IQ Solid, IQ Ruby. Oh no, that's a really good arsenal actually. I really like that. Fantastic, Tremaine. And then Charmaine, what do you think about the Rhino Pro Ivory? I really like it for the dry. I think it's one of the better dry lane balls on the market right now. Absolutely. All right. Let's check. AJ Chapman just wrapped a 10 on front 9. Ooh, ouch. AJ, this is an AJ pattern. A lot of hook. PM. I currently just switched my Deviate Hellraiser Blaze for the Onyx. Really good switch. I've had both of them, actually. I had that Hellraiser Blaze. I liked it until you had to move left of like 13, where the Onyx actually hooks from there, which is awesome. R1 Carter, Exotic Gem cracked. Oh, I'm sorry for that. What's a good replacement? Harsh Reality Pearl. Otherwise, Equinox is probably the next best. Maybe an Origin, actually. I would go Harsh Reality Pearl is the closest, though. Kenny Moyes, what are your thoughts on the Hypnotize? So, the Hypnotize is interesting. It's a mix between the Mesmerize and the Vaporize, but it's very identical to the Pure Envy. It's just sharper. And I don't know if you need a ball that strong and that sharp in general. The Criterion Hybrid also fits that slot. So I feel like there's just too much in that zone, but you want something smoother in that zone. I think a dull Hypnotize could be kind of good. Otherwise, go with the Pure Envy is what I'm seeing right now. I think it's just a little sharper than I expected, which is okay for some situations, but it's not the greatest league ball then. I think the Mesmerize is still better for that. Big B, what is your biggest pet peeve when bowling league? My biggest pet peeve is when people give lane courtesy when practicing. In the 10 minutes of practice, your goal is just to get warmed up and get lined up. It's not a big deal if you're not making perfect shots. And there's some people who like will wait a long time for lane courtesy and I will jump them. I will go in front of them because like the goal is just to get shots off. And you don't need lane courtesy in practice. Maybe the last minute or so to get really lined up, but that's one of my biggest that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Rip Van Revs, I'm 6.25 over. Track between fingers on some balls. That is a long PAP. Wow. Very long. Let's see. Yofo, do you tend to consistently bowl better in certain alleys? Absolutely, I do. Less than I did in the past as I'm becoming a little better and a little more, my eye for bowling is better. But I do still bowl better in certain centers. Absolutely. Ray D, I have an Arctic vibe for my weak smooth, but I'm not a big fan. I have no other current options. I would try an IQ Tour. IQ Tour might be better. It's much more expensive, which is unfortunate. If you want cheaper, go with a Hustle X-Ray though. Andrew Anderson just threw it on the TV show and it looked pretty good. Geek, have you tried to get your pro shop into creating content? Yes, we had a YouTube channel. We were all set up. I was going to be the editor of that. That's when my bowling page wasn't as big and I wasn't putting as much time into it. And then our guy who is making the content, has some of the greatest physical game on the planet and was a college bowler, won a title at Wichita. Then he just got busy and he just never recorded anything. We tried and we failed. So I just went all in on my own channel because then I don't have to worry about other people making content and making videos. And it worked much better. So it worked out overall. Herb, what would be a good ball to get? You have an ocean vibe and a blue hammer and you have a lower rev rate. I would get a little bit of a stronger ball like a Scorpion Low Flare. I think a Scorpion Low Flare might be good for you, Curb. Let's see. Jason, the Attention Star, the Primal Rage. I really like the Attention Star. If you are bowling on more oil, if you want super, super sharp, then I would go with a Primal Rage. Anthony, I just started throwing 14 again after being injured and moving down in weight. Well, glad you're back. Glad you're back, Anthony. What should I add after punching up a radioactive vibe and an Envision? Strong, sharp, or medium sharp? I would go shoot the gap and go with an Attention Star. Try an Attention Star out there. Gavin Newsom, how close is the Zen 25 to the Ruby? Very, very different. Very different bowling balls. Is the AI core really that noticeable in the Zen? No, not really. It rolls like a Zen. They did a good job at mimicking what the old Zen looks like. And James, do you prefer the dual angle layout system or VLS? I use dual angle because in my opinion, it's more basic and I can do dual angle at my house. I can't really do VLS at my home, which is unfortunate. You need an actual like protractor for that or some kind of scale versus dual angle. I can kind of eyeball and figure out on my own. All right, let's see. Let's go back over here. Quick reminder for everybody. We're about an hour 10 into the stream. Thank you all so much for hanging out so far. We got a lot left for you. Ton of Q&A, so make sure to keep asking those questions. If I miss your question, make sure to put it again down in the comments, but don't spam. Make sure to put it a little bit more, and I will make sure I answer it. If you haven't, make sure to follow and subscribe on every single platform we have. We are currently live on Twitch, on YouTube, and on TikTok. And then we also post on Instagram a lot. We're just not live over there. We have different content on everything, so make sure to go follow to get all of the ZVL Bowling stuff. Also, make sure to go buy some ZVL Bowling chamois. Those are out on the DH Lab website. Link is in all of my descriptions. They're only $20 with about $4 shipping. In my opinion, really good chamois, holding up really well. Some of the cheapest chamois in the game, and we are almost out. So make sure to go buy them before they are gone for a while. They'll be back at some point, though. Maybe with different colorways. We'll see. We will see. Let's see. Corbin, if I add the Envy Tour to the Ion Max, Primal Rage, Zen 25, and the GT, is that a good fit? Yes. I really like that. I really, really like that. Geek, I also hate when people spell when they mean where. Spell where when they mean where. Yeah. We got some grammar people. I love it. Kieran, would the Scorpion Strike be good for a first medium oil ball? As a sharp ball, yes. Nick, could you rate my arsenal? XL, the Road, IQ Tour, Zen 25, and a T-Zone. I like it. Yeah, that's a pretty good arsenal. A little on the weaker side, but that's okay, especially if you're rev dominant. I like it. Drata Fuzz. My league arsenal is a Stealth, a Blue Tundra, a Maxim for that 10-pin. Nice. Love it. Love it. And PM. Currently, my arsenal is the Jackal Onyx, the Venom Shock, and the Pitbull Bite. Ooh, that's an oldie. You might need a shiny ball in there next. So I'd go with like a medium shiny ball after that. Let's see. Josh Rodriguez on YouTube. I'm a high rev one-hander with low tilt, low axis rotation. You have an Eternity Pie, an Idol, an Infinite Physics, an Ion Prone, a Ruby. If you're replacing that physics, you said it was the Infinite, I would go with like an Equinox. I think an Equinox would be a good comparison. It's a little sharper, which your arsenal might need a little bit. So I like it. Ryan Schulten, I have a hammer effect and a purple hammer urethane. What hammer ball would be good to go with these? Scorpion Low Flare would be really good, or a Hazmat Solid would be really good too. Gavin, not even kidding. I live 3/4 of a mile away from Mount at Lebanon. It's my home lanes. Oh, awesome. I wish I could have seen you there. It's right on the corner between Washington and Connor. It is. Yeah, we were there the first weekend in February. So sorry that we missed you. I should have promoted it more on different channels. That was my fault. And Maribeth is back. You can see Maribeth Baker there like 5 times a week, though, if you want to go down there. Derek, the Iron Man is in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Great tournament with great bowling people. Sounds super cool. Sounds awesome. If I knew about it a little earlier, who knows? I might have flown out. Let's see. Tremaine, I think we hit yours already. I didn't think there was any overlap. I think you look good. Kura, what is the difference between Phase AI and the Equinox? The Phase AI is a lot weaker. It's going to be a lot weaker and a lot sharper down lane than the Equinox. Ryan Parsons. So for a league arsenal, what do you think of a Theorem Pearl, GB4 Hybrid, and Plastic? They're both pretty close, but if you see it okay, that's definitely okay. That is definitely okay. And Corbin's Flock on TikTok says, tell Derek I say hi. He may know me. I bowled the Iron Man the last 2 years. Oh, that's awesome. Ryan Seekins, need a medium ball to complete my bag. More rev dominant. What's your opinion? You need a medium ball. Summit Ascent is really good, just without knowing much, or Scorpion Strike, or a Road Warrior. Kura, what do you think about the trend from going to 15 to 14? Very little difference. Cores are very similar nowadays from 15 to 14, so there's not a big crazy change. Derek, the Hypnotize reminds me of the Prodigy. Color-wise, yes. Reaction-wise, a little bit. Yeah, not as much. The Hypnotize is a lot of ball. It's a lot of ball. Yofo, I scored my first 300 on the Switch. Hey, that counts. That still counts. Ace, as a right-hander, 4-9 split an achievement to pick up. Yes. Oh, absolutely. I don't know the last time I picked up a 4-9. It's been a while. And Michael McSmith, GB5 is on sale for 114. Ooh. Okay, that's a good pickup. That's a really good pickup. Derek, try the Hammer Scorpion Strike instead of the Arctic Vibe. Absolutely. Good choice. Jonathan Quintanilla, best ball of 2025. Ooh. Jacko Onyx is up there. Zen 25 is up there. I think it's really between those two right now. Those are the best 1-2 in bowling. Well, the two best of 2025 right now. Andre Jones, Lethal, Venom, or the Equinox, they're very different bowling balls. It depends what you need them for. If you want super, super smooth, go with a Lethal. If you want sharper, go with an Equinox. All right, let me check back on the TikTok side. PEM, any recommendations for a medium shiny ball? Road Warrior is really good. Scorpion Strike, Primal Rage are probably your 3 best in the game right now. Undead Terror, can you explain flat oil patterns, specifically 40-foot red square? What is the expected transition? Going to your car and driving away is the transition that you're going to go through. Flat patterns are the dumbest oil pattern in bowling, by far. They are usually in amateur events, in non-professional scenarios, it turns into who can leave the most makeables and who can split the least, but also who can get the lucky hits when they need them. So you don't have any room to miss. So you're going to Brooklyn a lot. You're going to trip 2 pins. You're going to go through the face and snowplow for strikes. And if you can do that in the right situations, you can do better. If you don't, it's not as good. So red square, there's very little oil on it. So you're going to want to play further right and just try to hit the pocket a lot. And then at some point, you're going to have to move left and throw it hard. So that's usually how it ends up going. On tour, it's very different, though. Rothanak, I'm looking to fill in open holes at the top and middle of my bag. I'm open to all brands. I have an Eternity Pie, Violent Collision, Ethos Hybrid, Vibo, Phase 2, Phase AI, IQ Ruby, and a 78. I really like that. If you need something stronger than the Pie, the Ion Max is right there. It looks like you have a lot of Storm stuff. And if you need something weaker than the Ruby, Hustle M&M is really the only weaker bowling ball in the game right now. Let's see. Revs, I sent you some pics on your email. Perfect. Sounds good. Awesome. James D, you pick my bag for practice. Jackals, Tridents, or Prides? Jackals. Go Jackals. We'll go with the goat ball. The jackal goat. Yeah, close enough. Airbeth, yep, tell him. It is. It's dumb. I don't think if you want to show skill in bowling, putting a flat pattern out shows skill. There's too many times you see somebody shoot a 240 and they hit the pocket 3 times. Like it happens. It's bowling. Like my 300 I shot, I went through the face. It was terrible. Like that happens. But if there's a lot of luck involved in that, and flat oil patterns usually lower the skill gap and they make it a spare shooting contest, which isn't the greatest. It doesn't really, it shows who's the better spare shooter, which is awesome, which is a good skill, but I don't think it shows who the better bowler is. Let's see, the Furious Finger. That's his username, folks. That is the username. I want to get more balls. I'm right-handed, two-handed. My revs are over 400. I throw over 25 and I hook at 10 and I have a twist. Ooh, I want to get more. You are highly rev dominant. Yeah, well, probably not. If you throw a twist up 10, you're going to want to go like slightly stronger with like a Road Warrior. I wouldn't go much further than that, or even a Hustle ball, like a Hustle M&M, and then go from there. Look, man, I'm looking to add another ball to my arsenal of Crimson Jackal, GB5, Black Hammer, and also a Hustle Rip. I would go like a ZN25 or a Scorpion Strike or a Primal Rage. I think fits really well in there. Astro, is the Black Hammer good for high rev player? Yes. Yeah, Urethane is very good for high rev players. Let's see. Preston, I'm looking for something stronger than my Attention Star S2. I would go like I think the Ion Max is going to be the best storm ball that goes above it. All right, I will be back. I gotta go blow my... Oh, I have things here. Haha, I will be muted for just a second. All right, I didn't know I had tissues here. Like I said, I'm still getting over being sick, so the nose is nosing today. The nose is nosing. It's not. What is a good solid ball for me? I throw 18 miles an hour with an insane rev rate. Big solid GB5 or Track Criterion will be your top 2, or Black Widow 3.0. Let's see. Aiden, I'm throwing in a Voke and a Blue Coral Venom. I'm looking for something different. I've been looking at an Idle Pearl. Ooh, that is very different. I like that. I typed this on TikTok, but I think you missed it. Oh, all good. Things fly by a little bit. Did I forgot? What? No, I didn't. I did not forget to mute. I 100% did. Ha. Ha, geek. Joke's on you. Yeah. You scared me. God, I looked, I made sure my mic was muted too. I'm usually pretty decent at that. Not today. Today I looked and I was like, oh yeah, it is. And it was, but I got pranked. I got. Let's see. Aiden though, yeah, I would go Idle Pearl. Absolutely. I think that'll be a good differentiation. I think just a shiny ball in general. Yeah, you forgot. I know you're lying, Maribeth. That's easy to see. Tremaine, how many balls do you think is too many to bring to League? I wouldn't bring more than 6. League is only 3 games. It's a good time to practice with certain things, to switch things up. I try to only bring 3 to 4, but I would say max of 6. Maribeth, he'll get to you, don't worry. Why you dodging my question? What did you say, Tim? I missed. If you can type it again would be great. There's a lot of comments over on TikTok, and TikTok auto scrolls on me, which is really annoying. So I unfortunately had to miss a couple. Jim Page, which ball hooks more? The Motive Pride Liberty or the Criterion Hybrid? Criterion Hybrid, absolutely. Hey, Pravada, bowling right now, and that feeling when you can't strike one-handed, but immediately start striking when you switch to two-handed. Hey, that's awesome. Love that. Let's see. Corbin, I'm trying to help answer questions as well. Oh, thank you, Corbin. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. For sure. S Sofer, I'd like to add a ball or two to my Ion Max. I would go Attention Star is a good combo with it. Otherwise, like a Summit Ascent is a good combo also. Astro, is this Arsenal good? Arctic Vibe, Venom Shock, and White Dot. Yeah, Corbin said it well. A little on the weaker side because you could use a stronger ball, but overall pretty decent. Tim, is the Purple Hammer Urethane good with the number 5 2LS? Yes, it is, Tim. Yes, that is probably the best 2LS layout for it. That Storm has on their page. Enoch, what's going on? Hey, K Profit, what's going on? Welcome on the Twitch side. Let's see. Yofo, would sanding a harsh pearl mess up the reactor gloss permanently? No. So the finish on it is something that pro shops can just add. We get bottles of it. Like the polish is just a liquid. It's a weird, it's like a toothpaste type liquid. Like I don't know what that would be. What is toothpaste? Like what would you, it's not gel, but it's not liquid. It's not solid. I don't know. I have 2 college degrees, by the way, and I don't know what toothpaste is. That's great. But no, you can just add that back and you're okay. Adam, rate my Arsenal. I just have, you have an Ion Max, Attention Star. Love that combo. Optimum Idol, Zen 25. Love that combo. Level, IQ2 or Ruby. Love that combo. Pitch Black, and then a Storm Lightning Spare Ball. Wow. I love it. I absolutely love that, Adam. That is an Arsenal I would recommend to people. It's that good. Nice. Red Speedy Gonzalez. Which would you choose? Hypnotize, 3D Offset, or Stealth Mode? I would go the 3D Offset Assault first. That ball looks really good right now. Stealth Mode second, and then Hypnotize third, just because that Hypnotize might be too much ball for a lot of people. Let's see. Furious Finger, we hit already. Ozuma, what are your thoughts on using a mix versus a white dot or a Maxim? I find my mix sometimes hooks at the last minute. Yeah, so I recommend plastic balls all the time. However, I do understand if you like a little bit more hook down lane to for like 3/6 10s or for 10 pins. I currently use a purple hammer and I try to throw straight, just kind of kill my hand, which I don't like doing. It's not what I recommend, but it is an option. So I would recommend plastic first, true plastic first. Tim, what is the typical ball maintenance for urethane? Always wipe off the oil. You never have to detox it, but you do have to resurface it, and then you have to wipe the oil off because otherwise the oil just stays on the ball. So get a chamois. Whatever you do, get a chamois. I recommend ZVL Bowling chamois from dhlab3d.com. But a chamois is going to be your best play because you need to wipe that oil off because it doesn't absorb into the ball for urethanes. Andre Jones, you have an Ion Max, Hammer Effect, Evoke, and the Level. Should I add a Zen 25 or an Equinox? I would go Zen 25. The Equinox is a little too close to the effect. And Kura, what are your opinion on my Arsenal? Ordered them. Equinox, Ion Max, Summit Ascent, Phase AI, Level, and a Spare Ball. Really, really good. I like that a lot, Kura. I really do. You have strong smooth, you have strong sharp, you have medium smooth and medium sharp. So, and weak smooth too. Gavin Newsom, how much weaker is the Effect Tour from the Envy? I would say if you had them side by side, I would say 3 boards. The Effect Tour is a little sharper and a little longer, but not by much, just a little bit. James, heading to practice. Jackal Bag is a Legacy, a Ghost, and a Crimson. Ooh, and a Revolt Uprising. Nice. Big B, what ball racks are you using? Looking for ball recommendations? These are actually custom. Let's go this way. These are actually custom made ball racks. Just some wood. It's pretty simple woodworking in all honesty. The ball cups are, I mean, they're just very, very tiny holes that are like 45-degree angle on them. I didn't make them. Somebody else made them for me. But they are, you can fit 12 balls on each. So they're just fully custom made. Cam, it's a good project for somebody who likes woodworking, but isn't like, is getting into it. Maribeth did not make them for me for whatever she says on TikTok. That did not happen. I don't think Maribeth is trusted with a power drill. 100%. I think that is for the best for everybody around. I've seen her try to swing a golf club. Like, don't give her power tools. Let's see. Cam, Reality, Eternity Pie, Phase 2, Harsh Pearl, Attention Star, and a Zen. I feel I need another solid. Don't think I need Pie and Reality in the same bag. Agreed. I don't think you need either or both in the bag. I would go with like an Ion Pro or an IQ Tour. I think will be best. Let's see. Panda, used Surface for the first time ever in my Arctic, and the difference was astonishing. Yes, if you've never put Surface on a bowling ball or sanded it, I would recommend it. Absolutely. Geek, you guys hit up Topgolf too? Yes, absolutely we did. Yes, it was. I can still golf a little. Poppy, can you rate my league arsenal? Top speed, Reality, and a spare ball. Pretty strong arsenal in general, but it can be really good, especially if you're a little more speed dominant. That's going to be a really good play. Brody, rate my arsenal. Zen, Phase 2, and Axiom. I am jealous of 2 of those 3. Actually, all 3. That is 3 of my favorite balls made in the last 5 years, actually, which is kind of funny. Tim, for urethane, you never have to bake the oil out. You do not. No. Urethane and plastic do not absorb oil. The oil stays on the bowling ball. So you just need to wipe it off more. You don't actually have to bake them in any way. Lelouch, what would be a good ball down from the Phase AI? The best ball down from Phase AI is going to be the Road Warrior. Absolutely, Road Warrior. Geek, is it true ZVL Chamois guarantee a 300 game ended on a Brooklyn? If you throw it good, no. If you throw it bad, yes. 100% strike ratio is what that gives you when you have the front 11. It's crazy. Jonathan, let's see what you think of my arsenal. Deal. Venom Shock, Forge Fire, T10, Pride Empire, Octane Carbon, Forza GT, Covert Tank, Blue Tank, Jackal Ghost, and a Quad Fire Z2. You have probably some of the best motive balls ever made on that list. People would pay a lot of money for those bowling balls. Let's see. 10 Robin over on Twitch. What's going on, Robin? A level or a Hustle USA for a weaker ball, or both, with the USA being hybrid? I would go one or the other, and I would probably go a Hustle USA. It's a little more consistent. Yofo, for a 2-handed lefty, what would be a good go-to ball for a fried house shot? What's your go-to ball for oily house shots? Fried house shot, Hustle M&M, or an Ocean Vibe, or a Max Throw Pearl. For oily, you're going to want some kind of stronger symmetrical ball. I think an NV Tour is really good since you're a lefty, because lefties love NV Tours. Don Paste, was there something? Let me know if I missed your comment, Don. I'm about 6 minutes behind right now on comments, so apologies on that. Enoch, did you end up discussing the Illinois Classic? My man Chris Vi keeps missing out on a title. I did not. The Illinois Classic was funny because it was a two-hander's dream come true. It was a 42-foot pattern, but the two-handers played it like a short pattern. Everyone who is rev dominant, they just played up it like a short pattern with urethane or stronger balls, and they whacked them. Absolutely whacked them. Especially if your name was Santu. That dude is a freak of nature. He is insane, and he uses like 3 bowling balls. He does not like many balls. He likes the Primal Rage, and he likes the Black Venom. I think he's had about 9,000 300s with that Black Venom. It's crazy. But no, I didn't talk about the Illinois Classic much, though. Yeah, Chris he's on another level right now for bowling. He just can't finish on the show, which is not a bad thing. So that's the tough thing with bowling. Like, he was virtually leading, but you get one game, and if you just don't match up for that game, it's over. It's very, very tough to win events like that. Hey, Coleman, thank you so much for the super chat, the $5 super chat. Remember, the best way to support me, one of the best ways, is buying chamois and then just dropping super chats and super thanks and memberships over on YouTube. But thank you so much. Brother-in-law only bowls with a new blue. Sometimes has trouble with carry. What is a good ball to switch to? I think he's a little more rev dominant. He might want to go to something like a Scorpion low flare, will be really good because it's going to be a little bit stronger than that new blue and have a little better carry percentage. But I think that would be a really good option. Thank you again for the super chat. Let's see. Jonathan, your stats were 6 inches over, 3/8 down, pinned to PAP, a lot of revs, and extremely low tilt. Makes sense. That fits. That's a lot of revs. Devin, would the Equinox be a good ball if I have a level and ion prone a spare ball? Yes, it would be. It fits really well with those. And Bomba, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I did see Geek. Yeah, I saw you put Team Motive, so I should hit that quick. I forgot that. Battle of the Brands is something I'm going to make a video on soon on YouTube and on TikTok, all the platforms. Right now, Team Motive is dominating Battle of the Brands. They've won 2 of the 3 events so far, so they're leading a lot. Next up really is all the Storm brands, and then all the Brunswick brands are actually on bottom, which is crazy. So it's gonna be an interesting year, very interesting year, for who does well. Like Motive has the player of the year. The Storm guys are absolutely slaughtering them right now, though. Like a lot of stuff, a lot of events, but they got smoked on the first event. So it'll be interesting to see where Battle of the Brands goes. But yeah, Team Motive is in the lead. Let's see. Ix, Attention Star, Optimum Pearl, Pitch Black, Two-Hander. What should I get to round out the most versatile SPI arsenal? You're going to want a strong smooth and a weak smooth and a medium smooth ball. So you have, let's see, you're going to want like an XL, and then you're going to want like a Summit Ascent because you're a two-hander, probably a little more rev dominant. And then you're going to want like a weak sharp ball, like a Road Warrior or like a Hustle Eminem. I think will be good. Maribeth, like we talked about in our podcast, yes, you can lead for 48 out of 49, but got to lead for all 49. Absolutely. So if you haven't, me and Maribeth have an awesome podcast over on the YouTube channel. It's 90 minutes where we cover a lot of cool stuff. One of the things we talked about was where you have to lead a tournament for all 49 games. And that's one of the toughest things to do because that is a lot of time to be the leader. And you always have a target on your back when you're the leader. Jonathan, forgot my speed. Pretty quick speed. Okay. Yeah, that fit. You're probably a little more rev dominant, but not insanely. Oh, I missed Tuna, my bad. What do you think would be a good complement to the GB4 Solid, High Road, and Tropical Surge? I would go like a stronger shiny ball or a weaker smooth ball. Like an Ion Pro or like an Attention Star, I think would fit well. All right, user, you're spamming a little bit with the rate your arsenal. Watch out. Slow down a little bit. We'll hit you quick, but make sure to not spam too much over on TikTok. Rate my arsenal: Outer Limits, Summit, Track Pearl, IQ Ruby. Which Outer Limits are you talking? And then what is the Track Pearl? Track is there's a lot of Pearl balls from Track. There's 3 Outer Limits balls, and we'll just assume the OG Summit. Let's see. We are at Adam. When should I know what surface to use on a different ball? And when should I know when to use it? Very, very tough thing to see. One of the toughest things to see, when your ball is leaving a lot of flat tens, you're probably using too dull of a bowling ball. If your ball is leaving corner pins or you're leaving a lot of 210s and your ball is very angular down lane, you're in too shiny of a ball. So you're going to have to make sure to switch your surfaces based on that with whatever you're throwing. Let's see. Norse Dad Gaming as a new 2-hand lefty bowler. I purchased a Mania and I found my speed has gone down and I can't seem to throw it left like my other balls. I throw Brooklyn every shot. So I would guess your speed has gone down, which is interesting. Probably, well, if it's on the monitors, it's because you're playing more angle, and the more angle you play. So like for you as a lefty, the further right you play and the further left you throw it, the slower your ball speed's going to be because it's covering more boards. So that might be why your speed has probably stayed the same, but I would recommend taking the surface off the ball. So take the shine off a little bit. That'll make it a little smoother. It's probably too angular for you is my guess. Gavin, in a recent video that you did, you went back and forth on the Effect Tour being strong or medium. I did. Have you made a final decision? Would the Envy Tour stay in strong? Envy Tour definitely stays in the strong smooth. The effect tour changes my mind every time I throw it on where it fits. I would go medium smooth, but in the top tier of medium smooth. It is closer to my phase 2 than it is to my Jackal Onyx. JOD got me. What would be a good starting ball on 44 feet, 29 mil? I would go stronger and smooth balls like an Ion Max or a Harsh Reality or something like that. And Louis, for a lefty who plays League, I have a Physics Blackout, XL, Harsh Reality Pearl, Sanded to 1500, a Motive Jackal Ghost, and a Zen 25. What do you think of my arsenal? Lefty who plays League, you have a Blackout, XL, Harsh Pearl, Sanded to 1500 grit, Motive Jackal Ghost, and Zen. Very, very strong lineup. A lot of really strong bowling balls, but if you're a little more speed dominant, that is A-okay. Then it's a pretty good arsenal. All right, let's catch up over on TikTok. TikTok absolutely blew up somehow. Mario block user. Ah, no, he's okay. Everything stopped. I will never immediately block somebody as long as they don't break terms and conditions, but I'll just give little warnings like that. It's okay. Low key, favorite 3-ball bowling bag. If I had to pick 3 balls, well, an Origin would be great, right, Maribeth? Please. I need an Origin in my life. I would go phase 2. What else would I put in that bag? Right now, I think my best 3-ball arsenal would be Jackal Onyx phase 2 Zen 25. All time would be, what did I like? That was a strong sharp ball. Nuclear Cell phase 2 OG Zen would be my favorite all time. A lot of those balls aren't available anymore. Hey, Jojo, what's going on? Tim Hagen, if you saw me bowl, could you tell me my rev rate? I am, in all honesty, I'm really bad at judging rev rate. There are guides online on how to track your rev rate. One of the best ways is to put a piece of tape on your track, so where your ball rolls over, get a slow motion video and count the amount of times you see that piece of tape rotate around the ball. That's one of the best ways. WRM, rate your arsenal. You have a Physics Blackout, an S2, a Phase 2, and a Zen 25. Yeah, you don't really have many weak balls, so like a Road Warrior or an IQ Tour would fit really well, WRM. Adam, would a Rockstar be a good replacement for an Idol? Yes, it would. Yes, it absolutely would. The Rockstar is just a weaker and sharper Idol. Black Star Piece, can you rate my arsenal? A Gem and NV2 are solid. A Primal Rage, a Phase 5, and an X-Ray. The Phase 5 and the Primal Rage are a little close together, but overall it is a pretty good arsenal. I like it. You could use a strong Sharp Ball in the future, but you have some time yet. Enoch, I'm probably switching to Motive soon. The Lethal Venom looks incredible. Yeah, Enoch, don't worry about fully switching an arsenal. You can throw multiple balls from multiple spans or multiple companies. You're okay with that. So I would try it out though. I would try it out. Let's see, Adam. Wait, I thought the Road Warrior was medium sharp. It's in the weak end of medium sharp, in my opinion. It's like right on the cusp of weak sharp. So like every category we have, it's a spectrum of where a ball fits. And Road Warrior is on the very weak end of that. Let's see. We got a lot going on here. Phoebe Ships. Any advice for Junior Gold 2025? Yeah, Aaron hits it well. Make your spares. Bring a lot of bowling balls, practice with them, and then only pick the 5 that you're most confident in. So the practice beforehand is very important. Make sure to go into it with a very open mind and try to have a game plan on every pattern. Those are probably the 2 best. And make sure to get a lot of sleep because it's a long event. Very long event. You can't win it in a day, but you can lose it in a day. Aaron, Zen 25 is a beast. Just shot 300 Monday night with it. Congrats, man. Congrats, Aaron, for the 300. Love that. Absolutely adore that. The Zen 25 is good. Chris the Lefty, I just finished my worst high school season. How do you handle nerves while bowling competition? Nerves are so tough. There's a lot of sports psychology that goes into it. Some of it is breathing techniques. I know Sean Rash really likes breathing techniques. He was doing them actually on the TV show last week. If you caught that, you could see him kind of like pacing himself a little bit at times. So he was fantastic on that front. Some other ways to make sure that you're staying calm is try to get other things in your head that aren't the surroundings. Get a song stuck in your head, count out your steps when you're bowling, try to focus on something that isn't the other stuff that you can't control in the game. Just try to focus on the stuff you can. Let's see, where are we at? Cody, I haven't bowled in 17 years. I got my big blue pearl and a big blue spare redrilled. I'm looking to get something with more movement, like a hammer arson or a new hammer anger. Hammer anger, I think, would be a better choice than, yeah, there is no classic arson, but anger would be a good one, or the scorpion strike. Joe D, could you rate my arsenal? Gem, Axiom Pearl, Summit Peak, X1, Ion Max, Ion Pro. You have a lot of really strong balls. You have a lot of balls that are in this kind of the same category. So you have the Gem, the RSTX1, and the Ion Max, in my opinion, are in the same exact category. And then the Axiom Pearl and the Summit Peak are nearly identical in the medium sharp category. So I think you're going to need some strong sharp or some medium smooth balls to kind of round that out a little bit better. Nick Carter, Exotic Gem cracked. What would be a good replacement? Definitely the Harsh Reality Pearl. That'll be the best replacement. Let's see. Yofo finally shot past 200 with the Ascent. It's the only ball I couldn't score past 200 with until recently. Do you play that ball angled or straight? A little more angled. It's a little weaker and sharper than you'd expect. Just a little bit weaker and sharper than you'd expect. All right. We have a lot of people hanging out. So quick reminder, first of all, thank you everyone for jumping in. Make sure to drop a follow or subscription. Helps me out a ton, and then you'll get notified whenever we go live next or whenever we have videos go live. Make sure to drop some likes. It helps me out a ton, gets this out to more people. Otherwise, thank you guys. We're live on 3 platforms right now. We're live on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. And we also have an Instagram. So if you want to go support on other streams, other platforms, those would be the places to do it. But we are going to keep trying to hit as many chamois, or I saw the word chamois. We are going to, okay. That is a comment on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to ignore that one. That's going to show up on the stream for some reason. Probably not the best. Can I should go do this quick. Where is my YouTube chat? What? Yeah, TikTok. There is Elisa. Let's just remove. We're gonna remove. We're gonna remove. Can we just like? We're just gonna hide that person for a minute. There we go. Nice and easy. They just wanted me to do something that is not very work appropriate to say on the YouTube side. But let's keep going. Gavin Newsom, which medium smooth benchmark is the best for a house shot? I like the Summit Ascent best, especially for a two-hander. I think Summit Ascent is the play. Hey, Horse, what's going on over on TikTok? Enoch, speaking of the Road Warrior, my league mate throws an AI and looks for a game 2 to 3 ball. Was I wrong to recommend the Ion Pro? I think the Ion Pro can still work. Absolutely. I think there are other options that could also work. There isn't really one true right option or one true wrong option. Or sorry, one true right option, a lot of wrong options. I think the Ion Pro can work there. It's going to be smooth though. It's going to be a very smooth ball in that spot, which is okay. TF Tuna, do you practice often? If so, what are you working on right now? Yeah, so I try to practice 1 to 2 times per week. That's about all my time allows me for. So I work at a pro shop on Tuesday nights, and then afterwards around like 8 o'clock, I try to get about an hour of practice in. And then sometimes on Fridays, I try to practice if the bowling alley isn't booked, but bowling alleys are hard to get time for. They're always very, very busy, which is a good thing at the end of the day. We want business at bowling centers. So what I'm working on right now, what I noticed this last weekend at a tournament is my hand. I've been really working on getting my hand behind the ball. And I thought I got to a good spot, especially in Pittsburgh, a much better spot where my ball roll was a little more end over end. And then I went to this tournament and it was all gone. So I needed better ways to get my hand behind the ball and to have less axis rotation. So what I focused on actually, which actually worked pretty well, better than I thought it would, is just focusing on my chest turning the right direction and not being square to the line. So I've had a problem over the last like year or two where my chest is very direct to the foul line. So what I need to do is turn it, and because that allows my arm swing to be in the right spot so my hand doesn't get around the ball. And it seemed to work pretty well. I'll be posting some videos on all the platforms in a little bit to showcase kind of what it looked like. But But yeah, it was something I've been practicing, and I think it's getting a little better because to be competitive at tournaments, you have to be able to play up the back of the ball. It's better to be too end over end than being too side to side. Side to side just gives you too many splits, and you need to be able to keep makeables. Because my spare shooting is actually good for once right now, so I need to actually leave stuff that I can make. See, Adam, for junior gold, I want to bring my spare ball with my other balls. What ball category should I take out? I would recommend taking out weak smooth. Take out your weak smooth category. I think it's the least used part in bowling, in my opinion. Let's see. We are missing some stuff over on TikTok. Hysteric Eric, best replacement for the Revenant. Ooh, there aren't any balls like that Revenant right now. That was one of Maribeth's favorite. Do you want, she actually liked that thing for some reason. Do you want to answer that, Maribeth? I'll let you take that one. Phelps, thoughts on my arsenal? Summit Ascent, Optimum Idol, IQ 78, a Daredevil. Ooh, I like that. And a Pitch Black. Pretty weak, like weaker end lineup. You have a lot covered though. You might need a stronger shiny ball like a Zen 25 or probably an Optimum Pearl would work too. Andrew Lehman, two-handed lefty. I'm thinking of getting an Ion Pro for my first reactive. Yeah, Maribeth, what is a good replacement for the current Revenant right now from Storm? Let's see. The Revenant came out when I was in high school and I only bowled on wood lanes. It was the best thing ever. All right. Well, okay. Anyway, she is answering it. Perfect. I'm thinking of getting the Ion Pro for my first reactive. I think it's a good first ball. It's weak enough where it's going to be okay because I'm guessing you're going to be a little more rev dominant than speed dominant. Geek, where's the YouTube mods? I don't have any. I should probably have some. I haven't gotten any like troll or spammy comments that often, or anything like very inappropriate. And like, we're not, we're not rated G on the channel by any means, but like, yeah, when people are spamming, it's a little bit different. But I probably should have some because we have 65 people hanging out right now, which is a crazy amount of people over on TikTok or on YouTube. Crazy amount. Looks like Maribeth didn't answer what's a good replacement for the Revenant. Dang. I would honestly say the IQ Ruby. The IQ Ruby is going to be as close as you're going to get. It's a little weaker than the Revenant, but it's probably the only ball that's remotely close. That ball was super, super unique, which is tough. Big B, a while ago, I recall a visual that showed ball speeds and rev rates. Yeah, do you know where that can be found? Yeah, it was, what was the name of the video? Oh man, I should know the name of my own video, Zach. What are you doing? I'll find it for you. We're gonna find it live. I also realize I'm so sorry to Luke Rosdahl. I didn't. We have a lot more people hanging out on our channel right now, which I truly appreciate and love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, I didn't realize he was live too. I don't like stepping on other people's toes in the bowling scene, but Wednesday's kind of been our night for a while. Maribeth, why are you on Nathan's now? All right, for the record, stop switching accounts. But I would say IQ Ruby for that, but let's find that video. Man, what would it be? I think it was like, what kind of bowler are you? Yeah, what kind of bowler are you? Rev dominant versus speed dominant. That is the name of the video. What kind of bowler are you? Charmaine Brown, is the Ion Pro as strong as the Gem? No, not even close. The Ion Pro is very, very weak compared to the Gem. Very, very weak compared to the Gem. NX, what ball would fit good with a two-handed arsenal? I have an old Gem, a Crimson Jackal, a Physics Blackout, and a Phase 5. What ball would fit good in a two-handed arsenal for me? You have an old Gem, a Crimson Jackal, and a Blackout, and a Phase 5. You're going to probably want something a bit weaker. You're probably going to want like a Summit Ascent. I think would pair pretty well with that. So I think that could be a good option. All right, let's catch back up. We have a lot going on TikTok right now. Let's see. I saw Holy. I'm looking to get my second ball. Currently using a Troublemaker. Sorry for missing this one earlier, Holy. My bad. But I would go... You have a Troublemaker. I would go something smoother. I mean, a Troublemaker solid. If you like the hybrid one that you have, go with the solid one that just came out. That could be really good. Scorpion Low Flare could be really good. You could go stronger and go with like a Heckler if you want a lot of hook. So a couple good options. Roy Larson, what's your take on the Equinox? I think it is a really good house shot ball, like they mentioned. It's good for cliffed lanes. It's good when there's a lot of oil in the middle of the lane and not much oil on the edges of the lane or on the outside part of the lane. That is where it's best. It's going to be a good game one league ball. It's not going to be great for transition, though. It's a little too early for that one. Oh, I gotta go back and delete more comments. Yay. All right, and we are gonna put that user in a 24-hour timeout. Sorry, Jax, get out of here. There's the, I just had to mention troll comments and then they come out. Yeah, great, love it. OH Greens guy, thank you for the membership. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the membership. You get ad-free viewing now. Congrats. Let's see. Where were we at on comments? C. Phelps, you have a Summit Ascent. I think, oh, we hit that one. We're good there. Roy, we hit. Well, no, would you keep the Attention Star if you get an Equinox? Yes, absolutely. Yes, at 100%. I think the Attention Star and the Equinox can be in the same bag. They're a little close, but I don't think close enough to warrant not being in the same bag. Jonathan Helmick, what would you recommend for the strongest hooking ball currently out? Max Bias. Max Bias is going to be the strongest ball out right now. Hysteric Eric, what would the Zen compare to it as well? Not really, unfortunately. The Revenant was so weird because it was super clean, but very, very smooth, and there really isn't a ball like it. A Phase 5 would honestly be closer to it than anything else, but that ball's also gone, unfortunately. User, have a Vaporize and a Harsh Reality Pearl. What should the third ball be? I'd go with a solid ball. I'd go with a solid ball like a Venom Shock, like a Summit Ascent, like a Rockstar, like a Scorpion Low Flare. Something dull would be better. And then spare ball recommendations, definitely T-Zone and then the White Dot. Those are the two best plastic balls, only two plastic balls really on the market. Tim Hagen, can I meet up with you to practice sometime? Hey, maybe whenever I'm going around the state, we will see. But I usually like to do practices alone, in all honesty. I get distracted very easily when I practice. So I like to like really just do me when I'm practicing. Oh, Jax was putting a lot of idiotic stuff out. Love that for him. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, YouTube chat. That guy's being an absolute idiot. Love that. Love when people are idiots online. Forrest, I recently purchased a Trax Cypher and I currently have a GB4 solid. Actually, let's do this. There you go. Okay. Hey, Don, congratulations. You're a mod on YouTube. Yeah. Thank you so much. I know you mentioned I can mod. Thank you so much, Don. You are now a mod. Everybody, Don Clifton is now a moderator on the ZVL Bowling YouTube channel. Please give a round of applause. Don is going to help me fight these idiots that are now posting comments because apparently we got big enough where people are posting dumb stuff. Oh, that's funny. All right. Thank you so much, Don, for volunteering for that. It means a lot. I just am noticing that idiot's comments. Forrest, I recently purchased a Trax Cypher and I have a GB4 solid I use as my benchmark. Will the Cypher be a good replacement? Yeah, it actually is. So the GB5 is super strong. The GB4 is much weaker, in my opinion. There's a pretty big difference between the two, and that Cypher is closer to a GB4 than a GB5. So absolutely, Forrest, I think that works. And Gandhi, what's your opinion on stealth mode? So I was a little disappointed by Hicklin's review of it. He was very quick. You could tell he had a lot of ball reviews to do and was running out of time. The stealth mode has been the weirdest reviewed ball on the internet. So Hickland said, oh, this ball is super smooth, or this ball is way too smooth and way too dull. Luke Rosdahl said this ball is pretty sharp for a stealth ball. And other people are kind of all over the place. So it's kind of like the Equinox where it's being poorly reviewed, in my opinion, and it's all over the place. and not poorly reviewed, that's a bad way to say it, but it's different depending on who throws it. The stealth mode is really a stronger and sharper Trek Stealth. So I think it's a really good ball and it's going to fit a really good spot, but it's very strong. It's basically a Game Breaker 5. So that's the one issue with it. There's a lot of balls in that slot. It's like an Optimum Idol Solid, a GV5. It's like a stronger Phase 2. Yofo, what's the strategy for bowling on a cliff? You're going to want a duller bowling ball or a smoother bowling ball. That's going to be the best way to bowl on a cliff, because then when you miss out, it doesn't overhook. When you miss in, it's still going to hook. Dominic and subscribing. Hey, thank you, Dominic. Appreciate it. Yofo, what ball is best for bowling on the cliff for a two-handed lefty? NV Tour is really good. Hysteric Eric, thank you for the follow on TikTok. NV Tour is going to be really good. What else would be good? Things like Jackal Onyxes, XLs, Black Widows are going to all be really good options on cliffs too. And Danny, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Rion's Life. What is a good ball to replace a high road? The Road Warrior. The Road Warrior is going to be a fantastic replacement. Tuna, when you mentioned working on not being as square with the lane, being more up the back, are you only opening your shoulders or your hips as well? So that's a really good question, Tuna, because when I tried just opening the shoulders, my hips stayed square. And then when I felt like the shoulders were opening, they weren't actually. So I felt like I was turning a bunch, and I wasn't, because those hips weren't. When I got the hips to turn a little more, then the shoulders did. So to answer your question, my hips were being more open as well, and that caused my shoulders to be open. Everything with your physical bowling game is all interconnected in different ways. So you do one different thing, and it can affect 8 parts of your game. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Kickstand Kurt, what's going on? Do you think a lot of people will be throwing a level at Nationals? Yes, absolutely. I don't know if it'll be the play, but I bet there'll be a lot of levels. I bet there'll be a ton of levels. Let's see. Jared, 14-pound lineup. Nova, Summit, Hype Solid, Revenant. Any suggestions on one to get next or looking to replace the Nova? I would say a shiny, stronger ball like a Equinox would be pretty good for you, or an Attention Star. All right. Let's see. We got to catch up on TikTok. We got a lot going on. We missed so many. I won't distract you. I think we do good together. I mean, maybe I'm just very picky when I practice, like, because I don't get much time, and I don't get much time for much in life with running the YouTube channel, 40-hour-a-week job, along with bowling tournaments and competitive bowling on the side. I like to really just kind of shut out everything when I practice, just to be able to get maximum results. And even if there's anybody around, it isn't as good. So yeah, I'm a little bit against practicing with others, but I would do it just to bowl possibly. Johnny Saurus, are you reading more YouTube or TikTok? I'm trying to be 50-50 on each. That's kind of my goal on all this. Try to hit as many as I can from both sides. Ben Jones, I'm looking to get a full 6-ball arsenal as a two-hander. You have a low flare, a Wolverine, and a fast pitch. I'd recommend a few stronger balls to go with it. You could go Zen, Attention Star. You could go Lethal Venom, I think would be really good. You could go Physics Blackout, could be really good with that. Yeah, just anything stronger than what you have will be great. All right, let's go back. Two-handed bowler, a middle and smooth arsenal. Phase AI and New Blue. All right. You could go Phase 2, of course, fits well. I really like the Road Warrior personally. If you want smoother stuff, I'd go with like an Ocean Vibe. That's probably that's a much smoother ball. Yeah, I think that could be good. What is... Let's see. Should I make Maribeth? I should probably make Maribeth a mod on YouTube too. Congratulations, Maribeth. You're a mod. Woo. All right, Matty Nitro. A lot of pearls and solids lately, so it feels like a hybrid is coming soon. Which big brand name do you think is going to announce a new hybrid? So we just had a lot from Brunswick, actually. We had the Hypnotize, and we had the Criterion hybrid. If I was a betting man, I'm assuming Brunswick is just going to keep dropping hybrids, because that's, like, I swear, I should look at the math on it. It seems like it's 50% of bowling balls that Brunswick is dropping are hybrids. Like, that's all they're doing. Where Storm doesn't as much. They like solids and pearls. They don't like hybrids that much. Motive also doesn't like releasing hybrids. Hybrids are probably the least used ball for competitive bowlers, versus league bowlers really like hybrids. It just works better on house shot. So Brunswick is trying to hit that harder, but the other brands aren't as much. So I would put money that Brunswick will drop another. Tom Hensel just stopped in to show some love. Thank you for all the insight. Oh, absolutely, Tom. That's what we're here for. Glad you find some value in watching the channel. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's see. Congrats on being big enough to need a mod. Thank you, Enoch. Appreciate that. It's kind of funny. When I was Twitch streaming, my old gaming channel, I would I made people mods because one time I got a troll comment, but then it never happened after that because I was just never that big. But we have a lot of people hanging out, so it happens. So thank you guys so much for helping me, allowing me to need a mod. Sean Streeter, enjoying the content. What would you pair with a real time? Ooh, real time's good. Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say a dull ball. I would say, no. I would go an ASIM. I would go like a perfect mindset, like a pure envy, like a theorem could be really good too. Stephen Mallory, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I think any of those three will be good. Don, it's difficult to monitor your own juggling all these platforms. I have a few balls in the air that I'm juggling, just one or two. Khalil, is the Black Widow Mania similar to the Vaporize? So the Mania is going to be much sharper, actually. Much, much sharper and later than the Vaporize. The Vaporize is going to be early and smooth. Ace, thank you for all your help. Oh, absolutely, Ace, absolutely. And Don, stealth hybrid or stealth mode? I think the stealth mode is going to be too close to the phase 2. I would go stealth hybrid. The stealth mode and the phase 2 kind of fit the same slot in the bag. Greens guy, heading to a demo on the 23rd. I hope the stealth hybrid is there. That and the big solids. I don't think the stealth hybrid is because there's so many Brunswick balls that have been released, but I think you'll see the stealth mode there. Charmaine, what do you clean a urethane with? There is some special ball cleaner for tackier bowling balls. I forget the name of it. Is it type 2? No, not type 2. Oh, it's step 2. Step 2. That's what it is. I think it's step 1 or step 2 is a better ball cleaner for that. I think that actually might be a polish. Nope, that's not it. Just any ball cleaner should be good. Oh, you meant stealth mode, Greens guy. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, stealth mode will definitely be there. Don, yep. Yofo, what would cause accidentally lofting the ball? I feel like the ball gets stuck on my fingers and I end up coming around it. So the ball has lifts. That is why. Don't put lifts in your ball if you're a two-hander. It's not what. So the reason is to get a little more technical on the reasoning behind it, your ball. So when you have a bowling ball, like Pokeball time, when you have a bowling ball, when you drill holes into it, we don't drill just straight down. So like if we're drilling, we just don't go perfect. We actually put pitch on it, and then we drill it angled. When you bowl two-handed, you need a lot of angle on those fingers. When you put lifts, grips into a bowling ball, it actually takes away some of the angle because you have a little bit of a bump to get over for your fingers. So I do not recommend lifts for a two-hander. Let's see. Dead polymers. What's going on, man? Too much forward. Yes, exactly. Dead polymers hit it perfectly. Too much forward pitch. And the lifts will do that. Step 1, I'd get rid of the lifts. Step 2, I would try some more reverse pitch if that's needed, if you notice a problem. Okay, tack up is one of my favorites, Don. Absolutely. Tack up is one of the better ball cleaners. That's what we actually use in our pro shop all the time. That's our go-to. Like for actually back in the shop. Adam, would the Origin and Road Warrior be good balls for a house shot? Origin, yes. Road Warrior, only for game 3. Origin will be good for games 1 and 2, though. All right, let me catch up over here. Hysteric Eric, any tips on how to properly practice? I catch myself just going for score. So, actually, I am going to be making a video on this very, very soon. I was actually sent something really cool from throwmorestrikes.com. It is from Chelsea Klingler, who she was actually shown on, I believe, the Black Widow Mania release video, if I remember right, from Hammer. And her and her husband Drew have a company where they make these notebooks. This is the bowling workbook. In here, there's a bunch of cool pages of it starts with a spec sheet. You can put your bowling ball arsenal in here and all the notes you have on them. There's a lot of pages for that. And then it has this cool guide of like, let me see if I can, it's kind of hard to see with all my lights, but it has a bunch of frames and it has notes for like actual tournaments. And there's a billion pages for that. There, and then in the back, actually, there is this bowling recap section, and that can be used for practice, where it gives you what were my strong points and what can I improve on. It can also be used for tournaments. There is also another one given to me called the practice tracker. In here, this one's pretty basic, which is nice. It gives you sections for like drills and what you're working on. And then it just gives you a 1 out of 10 for every frame to see how you do on them. So what I recommend is going in with a purpose, going in with a goal, ignore the scoreboard. Whatever you do, don't care about the score, don't care about how you're doing. Go in with an idea, with a goal in mind. I want to get better at targeting. So I'm going to look at 15 and I'm going to hit 15 5 times in a row, third arrow. And I'm going to get a video of every shot and I'm going to go back and look and see how close I was. And I'm going to write down how close I was. In the process, I'm going to try to feel in my body if anything doesn't feel good. And then I can try to fix that otherwise. So go in with a thing that you're trying to do. That is my best recommendation, Eric. All right. Chase, opinion on a Ricochet Pearl. It's okay. It's fine. It's a good Pearl ball. It's not great, not terrible. It's cheaper, which is nice. So if you want a cheaper one that not many people have, I don't think it's selling very well, unfortunately, but it's a good option. Let's see. JP Bowles, my arsenal is an Ion Max, Summit Ascent, Physics Blackout, and Sublime. What would you recommend? So you have a lot of stronger balls, and then the Ascent and the Sublime, which I really like. I think really all you need off of that is maybe either an Attention Star or a Road Warrior. It depends if you want a stronger or a weaker ball to pair with that Sublime. Let's see. I see Tuna. Do you put interchangeable thumbs in your spare balls? I have a slug in mind because I'm afraid of having it crack sooner than it otherwise might. I do. I use interchangeables on everything. I am a really big baby when it comes to my thumb. If my thumb is not really, really good, I'm going to have problems. So I do throw an interchangeable thumb in everything because my thumb also changes sizes a lot. So I live in Minnesota. So today it is currently 6 degrees outside. 2 weeks ago, it was 50 degrees. In 2 weeks, it's probably going to go back to 50 degrees. So my thumb is changing sizes all the time. So I'm always taking tape out and putting it back in. So I don't want to do that for multiple bowling balls because otherwise I'll run myself out of tape every other week. So that's why I do it. Now, luckily, spare balls are cheap, like plastic balls especially. Will there be cracking around the thumb? Yes, but spare balls are the cheapest ball you can buy. So it is generally a better idea to have I like the feel portion better. But if you don't notice a problem, A-okay, keep sticking with slugs and you're good. Gandhi, what is the best ball for fresh conditions and oil pattern below 45 feet with under 28 mils? Effectour Rockstar. I like both of those. I like starting with smoother balls compared to sharper for any oil pattern. Chad, if you were forced to pick one of 3 brands, what would you be and why? I would have to go Storm. They have the most options and the most versatility out of all the brands. Brunswick has unfortunately been kind of pigeonholing themselves the last couple months into asymmetrical balls, like I mentioned earlier. And Motive has an amazing arsenal. I just don't think they have enough bowling balls, and I just personally haven't thrown enough of them. The ones I've thrown, I've loved. I just haven't thrown many Motive balls in my life. It's just not the path I've really gone down. So Brett Spangler, hit me up. But no, I would pick Storm right now. I would lean one of the other 2 brands at times. Right now, currently with the bowling balls out, Storm would fit my game best, and then I think Motive would after that. I did see Geek out here. Does your shop let you drill and plug your own stuff for free? Yes. Yes, they do. That's one of the greatest things with me working at a pro shop is they allow me to do a lot of that. Now, I don't get paid much, so it evens out of like I work for very, very little, not free, but very little. So I really work for the perks like that. RJ, need a good ball to fit between a No Doubt and a New Blue Hammer. Scorpion Strike, Hammer Anger could be pretty good. Brunswick Ivory Rhino Pro could be really good too. Gavin, does the Summit Ascent take surface change as well? Yes, it does. It does really well when dull. It does really, really well when dull. All right, Rothank, I throw 15.5 to 16, low rev one-handed righty. Do you think that a Jackal Onyx is good for house shots? Yes, it is. It is much better for house shots than I would have expected. Yeah, I shot 300 last week with it, so I can't say no. Queasy How. Hey, Zach, I've got an Inception DCT Solid, Attention Star, IQ Tour, and a spare ball. Was a good choice for my next ball. So DTC Solid is a really strong one. Attention Star is a strong sharp. IQ Tour is weak smooth. I would go with like a weaker pearl ball, like a Road Warrior or a Zen 25. Other brands, you could do a Hyper Venom from Motive, or you could do a Scorpion Strike from Hammer. Any of those will be awesome. Johnny Soros, just finished my first year of high school bowling. I want a new ball. I throw two-handed, medium to high curve, 154 average. You throw two-handed, medium to high curve. So I'm guessing you're a lower speed or more rev dominant. So I would go with like a Hustle M&M might be a good option. It's very low end, but if you're hooking the whole lane, that'll help you play a little bit straighter. Gavin, how is the Effect Tour on League? How many frames can you use it until? I usually can get about a game and a half with my Effect Tour. Unless I manipulate it a little bit. And if I move far enough left, I could use it all 3 games. It is very versatile, but when it starts leaving 10 pins, it's good to just put it away and pick something else. Because of just how the ball is designed, that's same with the Envy Tour. Once it starts hooking a little too much, it's just not going to be great when it hooks too early. But I really like the Effect Tour also for League. That's my other top League ball, actually. And Geek, heading out, sounds good. Sounds good, Geek. Thanks for hanging out. Chase, thoughts on my arsenal? Reality, Phase 2, Attention Star, Road Warrior, and a Rip. Ooh, that's a really good arsenal. I like that one a lot. Nice job. Let's see. Jesse Hitchcock, is the New Blue Hammer good on house shots? If you shine it, absolutely it is. Todd Johnson, I have a Widow 3.0, Hustle USA, Defender Hybrid. Oh, my stuff is way behind. Whoa. Defender Hybrid, Katana Assault, Radioactive Vibe. Let's see. Man, my voice is going. Let's see. Widow 3.0, Hustle USA, Defender Hybrid. You have a lot of strong and really weak. You need, I think some medium balls would really help you, Todd. I see William, Ethos Hybrid or Crusher Hybrid. Go with the Crusher. That one's really good right now. Hudson Lattimore, does this sound good for sectionals? DNA, Phase 4, Phase 2, IQ Tour, Hustle Rip, Zen, RSTX1, and a Hustler Overseas? It does. It sounds really good. Hey, Kai, what's going on? Thinking of getting my Swag Fusion to pair with my Road Warrior. It will be a much smoother version of the Road Warrior. Absolutely. 100%. Yes, I'm a brand new bowler. I bowl lefty, and I notice my ball is curving to the left. Any advice on how to fix this and curve right? So right now, Yaz, you're probably releasing your ball like behind it, but you want to be releasing your ball on the side of it. So as a lefty, you want your ball to rotate clockwise around the ball. That'll help you get lefty hook on it. Maribeth, you've been back like 8 times in this stream, dude. Jeez. Don, I have 2 sets of interchangeable thumbs, one for my strike ball and one for my spares. And that's also a really good idea. That's a really good recommendation too, Don. A lot of people do that. They have one thumb that they use mainly for their spares and one for their strikes. And then if they need to, they can just put the strike one in the spare ball and be good. Let's see. Cosmic. Been watching your videos for a bit. Wanted to see what you thought of my arsenal. Black Widow 3.0, Hammer Effect, Black Widow Mania, Hazmat Solid, GB5 Arctic Vibe. I really like it. It's a lot stronger. It's pretty strong arsenal. You might need some weaker pearls in there, but otherwise that was really good. Otherwise, I really like it, Cosmic. Enoch, does the pay from working at the shop mess with your tax brackets? I feel like that's the only downside I could think of when considering you have a full-time job anyway. It actually does not, because tax brackets are based on overall income. And because I make so little at the pro shop, it doesn't bump me into a new tax bracket, which is nice. It does give you, yeah, I don't know why I was looking at how many people were in the stream for me to say this, but you do have a lot more tax write-offs that you can do because of being in a pro shop and being in the bowling world. So that affects things a little bit. But I also do not know much about taxes. I am a computer science nerd. I am not much of an accountant, unfortunately. So take everything I say with a grain of salt in that regard. Adam, do I need to do PTQs to get a junior gold? Yeah, there's usually junior gold qualifiers at a lot of youth events. So go do one of those and you'll be good. I think you have to qualify technically. Hunter Moore, how's my arsenal? Two-handed lefty, effect tour, obsession tour, IQ tour, noticing a theme, teal rhino, theorem, phase AI, high road, IQ ruby, black hammer, white dot. Ooh, very well-rounded. Very, very well-rounded arsenal. Tim Hagen, what's your 9 to 5? I work at an insurance company as a software developer. So I'm more of a software developer manager at this point. But yeah, software developer at an insurance company. So that's the regular computer science nerd at heart. Gavin Newsom, do you think the effect tour in IQ Ruby or the Summit Ascent in Zen 25 for an arsenal? Effect tour in Ruby or the Ascent? I would go Ascent and a Zen 25. I think is a little better, Gavin. All right, let me catch up over here quick. Matthew Seibel, what's going on, man? You think the new stealth is going to be enough of an upgrade if I already have the stealth solid? If you're noticing that your stealth solid is dying out on you, then maybe. But if it's not, I wouldn't do it. I would try something else. Malik, 14 miles an hour, low rev, have an Attention Star S2 and Sublime Focus. What other balls would you recommend? You have an S2 and a Sublime Focus. I would go with one. I mean, an Origin could fit really well here, or an Ion Max as a super strong ball. But if you want something weaker than both of them, go with a Zen 25. Warren, not sure if this has been asked, but Hammer Mania compared to the Equinox. The Mania is going to be a lot sharper down lane. It's going to be a lot weaker, a lot later hooking, and a lot sharper down lane than the Equinox. Greens guy only started bowling again 3 weeks ago, and I went to Interchangeable yesterday. That is a really good idea. Yeah, in Ohio, that can happen a lot too. Anywhere in northern, like, United States, or anywhere where the climate changes a lot, you definitely need multiple thumbs. I have like 6 right now, but mine also have different pitches because I'm playing with pitches a little bit. But I have a lot. A lot. Let's see. We are at Caden. Theorem purple, gold label, and a purple hammer. Theorem purple. I don't know. Or the one, maybe the one purple, gold label and purple hammer. Caden Luff pearl. Gold label, purple hammer. You might need a smooth ball in there. You have shiny and urethane, so I'd recommend a smooth ball with it. Randall, USB-C lineup. Summit Peak, Hypervenom, IQ Ruby. I would recommend a smooth ball in there, Randall. Something solid and dull, like a Lethal Venom or an Optimum Idol or a Phase 2 or even an XL. Let's see. I picked up the Vibo. I don't know what that symbol is for your name. Picked up a Vibo. My brother is going to get an Attention Star, which is strong. It is. Yeah, I like that. It's a good option. Tim, would you give honest feedback of a video of me bowling? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys, so one thing I was trying to figure out and didn't really have a good way of doing it is in my membership program. If you get one of the higher tiers, I'll give a video analysis of your game. I am not a registered coach by any means. I have my level 1 certification, which is the lowest you can get, and that's about it. But I would try to do that. It isn't really set up yet. I just don't physically have the time to be able to run those, but it will happen soon. Dad, rate my arsenal. Black Widow, original Black Widow, Raw Hammer, and a spare ball. That is, you're going to probably want something in between the two. Hazmat Solid, Scorpion Strike, Scorpion Low Flare, something like that. Kai, also the Minnesota Open didn't shoot great or terrible. Yeah, how did it end up going? What'd you end up thinking of the shot and everything? Let's see, where were we at? Ooh, I missed a couple comments here. I saw Troy in here. Rate my arsenal, a Phase AI, an Origin, a Trident Odyssey, and a Vibo. Do I need anything else? You have a really strong lineup. I'd say a weaker solid ball, like a Summit Ascent, or even actually a Venom Shock would be really good for you. I think a Venom Shock would fit very, very well. Greens guy, Ryan Barnes and Maverick are currently in second and third. Ooh, look at them go. Look at those guys frying it out there from the PBA trials. Hunter Moore, what is your favorite ball? Phase 2. 100% the Phase 2 is my GOAT. Tri-State, looking for the next ball to add. Have a Black Widow 3.0 and a Phase AI. I would go with a ball above the Phase AI, like a Black Widow Mania or an Attention Star or a Crimson Jackal. Don, thanks for the update. Ryan Barnes is doing so well. He is doing so well. It's wild to see. Gavin, how does the Road Warrior compare to the Zen 25? The Road Warrior is much weaker and much sharper. Let's see. Bosnock, great channel with a lot of great info. Hey, thank you, Boz. Appreciate it. Gandhi, why does everybody say tour balls are the best? What do you think I should add? What do you think should I add a tour ball? My current arsenal is Attention Star, Purple Hammer, Rotogrip, Reckham. The tour balls are really good because they are very predictable. That's usually when they put tour on the name. They're just very predictable and smooth bowling balls. And that means you can hit the pocket a lot. It doesn't mean you're going to score super high. It's very hard to shoot high scores with a tour ball, but they're going to hit the pocket a ton and leave you a lot of makeable spares. So that is why they're so good. Could you use one? Yes, it would fit in your arsenal, an Effect or an Envy Tour. But it's not 100% needed by any means. Kai, the shot was fine, just the outsides never really came back, so it hindered me a little. Okay, that's what I was worried about, is if they would just put some extra oil on the outside or on the edges. That's usually what they do for state, so you have to play a little bit more the middle of the lane. Zorilla, what do you think about the Arctic Vibe? I think it's one of the best strong budget balls in the game right now. Which is stronger, Attention Star or Vibo? Vibo is a little bit stronger. Earth God, Equinox or the Mania? I can't answer which one is better. I don't think. They're both good in different ways. The Mania is a step down from the Equinox. I think they're both great. I don't know which is better. Deej, big fan of your channel. Hey, thanks, man. I'm a no-thumb bowler looking for a good solid. So you're going to want something probably a little bit weaker, like a Summit Ascent or a Venom Shock or something like that. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Hanson, what 6 balls should I bring to the tournament? You have Trident Odyssey, Envy Tour Pearl, Summit, Crossroads, Tenacity, Sublime, Focus, Reality Check, Spare Ball, Hellcat, Innovator. Definitely the Spare Ball. I would say your favorite ball between the Odyssey, the Innovator, and the Hellcat. I would go Envy Tour Pearl for sure, Summit for sure, Tenacity for sure, Sublime, Focus, Reality Check, and then one or two of the big balls. Bosnock, what do you think of my league arsenal? Sublime, Exponent, Attention Star, Magic Gem. Very, very strong, especially because you're a two-hander that is more rev dominant, but still pretty decent. Gavin, do you think the Road Warrior or Zen 25 is better to add with a Summit Ascent? Zen 25. I think the Zen 25 fits a little better with it. Dawn, I know you know I love it, but there are a lot of Black Widow 3.0 folks in here tonight. Rolled a 257 in Game 2 of League this week. Nice. You and your Black Widow 3.0, the best-selling ball of 2024. That ball is awesome. Really, really good piece. Kai, I do have Sport Shot League in the spring. Any pointers? Learn as much as you can. Play around with a shot, see what works for your game and see what doesn't work for your game, and then try to like keep those skills. Because I know you're newer to like especially sport shots, so learning is going to be the best thing because there probably isn't a big prize for first place. So learn as much as you can. All right, let's see. Deej, you have an Attention Star, a Vibo, an Idle Pearl, Hammer Effect, NV Tour, no doubt. GB5, Idle Solid. Yeah, you're going to want like a Venom Shock or a Summit Ascent, Deej. One of those two is going to be best. How can I, as a two-hander, generate more RPM without losing control? So that's all going to be about your form. So one of the biggest things as a two-hander is you want to be able to get that backswing a little bit more behind you to get your hand on release more underneath the bowling ball. So when you're releasing, you want your hand underneath it more and not on top of it. And you want it going through the ball, through the ball and not around the ball. Around the ball is less revolutions than through it. See, Chad, I'm heading to my first nationals in Baton Rouge. Awesome. Good luck. What do you think the oil pattern will be? Good question. It's going to be new. It's going to be weird because we've never bowled on these lanes before, but it's probably going to be, I would just look at the last couple years minus like, I think it was 2021 was weird or 22. Just look at those because they pretty much put out the same thing every year with slight modifications. Don, call into work tomorrow. Let's practice. Oh, I'd be in. I'd love that. Kai, I'll probably DM you the Sport Arsenal. Perfect. Please do. Let's see. What are we missing here? What's the best Pearl ball ever made by Storm? I think High Road Pearl has to win that one. I think the High Road Pearl has to take the cake on that. Let's see. User, do you plan on throwing more motive stuff? So you might recommend them. It depends how the cards fall, really. With YouTube money coming in a little bit, it is not much. I do want to put that back into the stream and back into the channel, which means either equipment or bowling balls. So I might get more of them in the future. The Jackal Onyx might have just been the start. That thing rolled super good, so I probably should get more motive balls, but we will see. We will see. Let's see. Kyle Ninneman, Rate My Arsenal, Black Widow, Black Gold, Blue Coral, Scandal S. It's a very old lineup. Those balls might not hook as much as they used to, and they are all pretty sharp down lane. A little cleaner, little later hooking. So you might need some earlier balls to be good. Don, did you drill the Onyx 2.0? I did not yet. No, I thought I'd have time last night, and then I was in there till 8 o'clock drilling stuff and people coming in, so I wasn't able to. But that is my goal for next week. I should have, though. I could have thrown it this week at the city tournament, even though it would have been highly illegal because there's no because of the serial number. Gavin, sorry for all these repetitive questions, but how do you think the Zen 25 and Effect Tour will be as a league arsenal? I really like those as a 1-2 combo. They're really good for me personally, so I recommend it, but I am biased in that regard. All right. This is gonna be our last call for questions. We've been live for 2.5 hours. This is our longest stream yet. I was supposed to get offline like 40 minutes ago, but here we are. So last call for any questions out there. We'll hit any more that are left, and then we're gonna call it a night. So Wayne Gibbs looking for something longer than the Ruby and smoother on the back end. Hustle M&M might be really good for you. Fortnite Lover, Storm Blackout or the Pitch Black? Pitch Black, if you're looking for a urethane. Absolutely Pitch Black. Alexis Thomas, thank you so much for the follow. Cebu, what do you think about the Summit Ascent for League? I think it is one of the best low-key League balls on the market today. I think it's really, really good for League. Let's see. And then Kai, always love the lives. Oh, thank you, Kai. Thanks for hopping in. Really appreciate it. And User, thank you for the follow on TikTok also. All right, but I'm not seeing many more questions, so we're going to call it on that. So I can go rest the voice and go get ready for 6 games of League tomorrow. We're going to, on TikTok, a series that we've been doing lately is we're doing a Guess My Series. We've been doing it for most of the season. So tomorrow I will have a TikTok going out for you guys to Guess My Series. We have 2 sets of League. We have our city tournament going on, so I will be bringing a few more bowling balls. So hopefully that means I score a little higher. I have a few ideas for what I want to do. But otherwise, we're going to have 6 games of League, so I'll be asking you guys to guess my sets, and then I will stitch on TikTok, or I will grab the comment of whoever wins and throw it on the screen, and then talk about League a little bit. So that'll be going on TikTok tomorrow. Otherwise, we have a Valentine's Day Arsenal coming out tomorrow, which is going to be really fun. Might be Friday, actually. I might have had it drop Friday morning. I will check that for you before we dip. But we have a Valentine's Day Arsenal, and It is my cringiest video yet, so I'd highly recommend watching it. I throw out a bunch of, yeah, February 14th at a time in the day. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. on Valentine's Day. We're going to have this video come out. I have some really, really bad, cringy Valentine's Day jokes and like pickup lines that I say in them. So be ready for that. They're not good at all. They hurt physically to say. But that is going to be coming. Otherwise, we're going to have Arsenal guides for a bunch of people who sent in their Arsenals. We're going to be going through all of the Storm bowling balls and putting them into one of our 6 categories. Should be a really fun video. Will be a little bit longer. We have a podcast with Maribeth Baker out there right now. It's not doing the best view-wise, but that's okay. Hopefully, you guys are getting a little bit out of it. That is on the YouTube right now, but otherwise, a lot of cool stuff coming. Don Rumpy's at 640. Oh, God, I might die. Don, I used to throw 2 sessions in one night when I was younger, and it's a lot. It's a lot of bowling. It's a lot of bowling in a row. I usually get tired by like game 5, but it's how we're doing it. So TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. Thank you guys for hanging out on TikTok. Love you guys so much. Thank you for jumping in. Have a great rest of your night. I will see you on the next one. And then we're stuck with you, YouTube, you and I. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys as well. We will see you guys next Wednesday, 6 p.m. We're going to be live again. We have a lot of cool videos coming. Make sure to stay tuned. We're going to have some PBA updates coming also. I might jump up to 4 videos a week. We're going to see. Right now we're at 3 videos a week. We might jump up to 4 because I have a lot of really cool ideas for videos, and I fill my time so much with other videos that I just can't post the other ones. I have a video recorded that is how to bowl in your first bowling tournament and the steps you should take, and a nice little like step-by-step guide on what to do before the tournament, during, and after. But that is coming very soon. I just need to find a time to actually post it. So we have a lot of cool videos coming. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.